Podcast Doesn't Exist, episode 66. Fresh out of the weekend. Boy, oh boy, is the hot stove heating up. Trade deadline is in how many days till the trade deadline, Mitchell?
We are a week away.
1 week, 7 days. 7 times 24 is over 150 hours left until the deadline is over. There's a lot of potential stuff going on. A lot of potential buyers, a lot of potential sellers, a lot of obvious sellers, the Mets. But the question is, what is your team going to do, bro? I mean, if you're Nationals, what do you think the Nationals are going to do?
I have no idea.
Nationals got hot. Now they might buy. They might sell. We don't fucking know.
They've already done both.
We already got a big blockbuster trade. We'll cover that for the Nationals. The Marlins, maybe it's time for them to sell now. They ate shit this weekend, so they might trade Alcantara. Cardinals, not playing so great. They might sell. A lot of rumors going around. The Diamondbacks might sell Ketel Marte. People weren't expecting that, but Ketel Marte might be moving within a week. According to Rosenthal, the O's should trade Rogers and Ward. The O's might sell, guys, despite that they're hot streak, and then they ran to the Braves. So the O's might sell. What is your team going to do? Braves, we need pitching. Braves going to buy. Phillies need outfielder. They're going to buy for sure. Cubs need pitching. Who are they going to get? Red Sox need hitting. Who are they going to get?
Curtis Mead.
They already got one, Curtis Mead. But there's going to be other guys on the deadline are on the block. So according to Ken Rosenthal, the Mets trying to clean house. So the Mets expect to make at least 6 trades ahead of the deadline. That is Freddie Peralta, who already said he expects to be gone. And that last start might have been his last start, said it himself. Clay Holmes could be going. Brooks Raley could be going. Minter could be coming back home.
Please.
You never know. Luis Robert Jr. and Tyrone Taylor, all available. If any of those guys seem like they could fit in your clubhouse, call the Mets up right now. The Rockies, another team, they got nothing to live for, nothing to play for other than a potential future. So what are they going to do? They're going to trade their entire pitching staff, or at least try. Might be hard because they all have ERAs over 5, I'm going to assume. Safely assume at least over 5. Granted, in Coors, you got to give them a little bit of a break, though. So Senzatella. I'm never going to say his name right. Senzatella. He's available at the deadline. Kyle Freeland. I would hate to see him leave the Rock Show, but he could leave the Rock Show. Mike Lorenzo, Tomoyuki Saganu, all available at the deadline, according to the reports. Also, Mickey Moniak, Jake McCarthy, Willie Castro, not to mention Hunter Goodman from the Rockies, who has 30 home runs this year, I believe, or close to it.
Over
30 home runs already this year. According to Ken Rosenthal, they early reports indicate that the Rockies are resisting talks. Teams interested in Hunter Goodman are resisting Rockies' early ask, in part because they're dissatisfied with his defense. And Hunter Goodman is a catcher, I believe, right?
He's a catcher. One scout said it looks like he's angry when he catches the ball.
Okay, well, you know what? That wouldn't even make. I like an angry catcher. To each their own, I guess. Either way, if he's hitting bombs, the team will take him. The Red Sox, Rays, and Yankees apparently are trying to add a catcher per Ken Rosenthal and Will Sampson. So if you're a Yankees, Red Sox, or Rays fan, you might get Hunter Goodman. Now they're saying that Adley Rutschman might be on the block.
That's what I'm reading.
Is it possible that Adley Rutschman goes to the deadline?
It is possible. The Orioles do have Basayo.
So they have Basayo. They have a deep catching staff. They have 2 great catchers. One of them is an all-star. One of them is a little older. It would be really tough to give up your cornerstone player in Adley Rutschman. However, anything's on the table right now. It's time to make a move. We only got a week left. Ryan Jeffers from the Twins, he might go. Shane Bangaliers, unfortunately, would have been a big trade candidate out of Oakland for a team looking for a catcher, but he has torn his meniscus and is out for the season, I believe. I don't know if that's confirmed, but he's out for most of the season, at least. So that's going to really fuck with the A's' potential trade deadline move. Bangaliers will probably not be traded. The biggest possibility is the Skubal trade, which we will get to, but another bombshell dropped earlier. Byron Buxton, according to Jim Salisbury, is willing to waive his no-trade clause to go to Philadelphia. So Byron Buxton, who forever has said he will not waive the no-trade clause, that he will stay in Minnesota till he dies. I'll die in Lake Minnesota. Is that a lake in Minnesota? They got a lot of lakes. There's got to be a Lake Minnesota.
There is a lake in Minnesota.
Shout out to Lake Minnesota, the burial place for Byron Buxton, who refuses to leave the Twins. However, that might change. According to the reports, he might waive that to go to Philadelphia, who would love an outfielder right now. The Philadelphia Phillies, who, I mean, that lineup isn't looking as deep as it has in years past. I mean, they got Schwarber, they got Harper, who's still a great hitter. But other than that, I mean,
they do have a negative 11 run differential. They had a really good night against the Yankees too. They beat the Yankees 11-4, and they still have a negative run differential.
They would love to replace maybe Justin Crawford in center field, who's got a 73 OPS plus. Adolis Garcia is out for the season. That doesn't help. Brandon Marsh is an all-star, so shout out to Brandon Marsh, but his OPS plus is only 111, so he's kind of come down to earth in a quick way. Phillies would love an outfielder. And Byron Buxton might be that guy. However, Jim Bowden has already made a counter report. He's reported against the report saying that the Twins will not trade Buxton. He doesn't see it happening. And that Joe Ryan, another trade candidate for the Twins, will not be moving at the deadline. Believe who you want to believe, motherfuckers, but the Twins look like they're holding on to their two cornerstone guys. Jeffers still could be moving, though. I'm told that neither one is going. In fact, the Twins are buyers right now. Do you think the Twins are buyers?
No.
They feel they have a chance at a wild card spot, Mitchell. That's the thing right now, is that any team in the AL has a chance right now, a good chance to make the AL, except for the Angels, who, I mean, they don't got much to trade probably. Athletics, they're done. But other than those two teams and the Royals, every single team is in it right now.
I think the Blue Jays are in the sellers territory now at this point. They're 3-7 over their last 10, 5.5 back from the wild card. 6 teams back.
Who do you think they're going to sell, though?
They've got Kevin Gausman. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
That would be a big trade.
Maybe Max Scherzer starting tonight is, hey, if he looks good, we'll trade you him.
Max Scherzer coming home to the Nationals. You never know what could happen. Well, that's the big thing about this trade deadline, is that now with the expanded playoffs and the crapshoot that is the American League, where every team is in it, it's definitely what you would call a seller's market, Mitch, where you're going to be, did I get that right?
Yes.
I know what I mean, what I'm saying, but I don't know if I'm saying the right word. But most teams aren't really in a hurry to buy or sell because they have a chance at the playoffs. So the ones that are selling can expect, based on supply and demand, a way bigger package than in normal years. So if you want to be that bold team who's going to sell despite being in a playoff position or close to one, you can get more money bang for your buck, which is tempting. And if you're the Giants right now, you're feeling pretty good because of how dog shit you are. So the Giants probably have more trade pieces than anyone in baseball. They are definitely out of a playoff spot. The Giants right now sitting at 44-61, 15 games below 500, 22.5 games out of first place. They have a shit ton of guys. They, according to reports, are not going to be moving on from Jung-Hoo Lee. But other than that, I think everybody's on the table. Devers, Helio Ramos, Luis Arraez seems like a massive possibility to get traded. Willie Adames, even possibility. You never know. But yeah, if you're a team that needs a bat, hit up the freaking San Francisco Giants or pitchers. Robbie Ray coming to the Braves
would make sense.
It makes a lot of fucking sense. Speaking of pitchers who could move on, Mason Miller, according to rival executives, anonymous, the Padres will keep Mason Miller, but Michael King could also move. So that's another starting pitcher potentially to be traded out of the Padres, who I think right now are only like 3 games out. I mean, if they want to sell, it's your right. 2 games out of a wild card spot. I mean, if they try to trade Michael King, you could probably get a shit ton for Michael King right now because there's not a lot of starters on that block. Michael King, you think they'd trade Michael King 2 games back for a playoff spot?
That would be an interesting trade.
Maybe they want to do the reverse. Like in the past, they were the ones buying everybody. They probably look at that Soto trade maybe a little like, fuck, we could have had 2 of the 3 best hitters in baseball right now on the team. Now they're in Washington because we wanted to get cocky and trade for Juan Soto. What are you going to do? The Red Sox have been searching for a shortstop. According to Buster Only, the shortstop position or market has been notably thin. But Willie Adames is available. potentially, and CJ Abrams, despite the massive hot streak from the Nationals, who right now are 2 games out and in 3rd place, only 8.5 games back of first. They could win the division. The Nationals are hot right now.
They're closer to the Phillies than the Phillies are to the Braves.
Listen, brother. The Nats are a good team, a great offense, and CJ Abrams right now is the hottest hitter in baseball, leads the league in basically every single category this week. Despite that, there still is a possibility that CJ Abrams will get traded. The Athletic predicts that CJ Abrams will get traded despite the hot streak, which would be a massive bomb. Get my soundboard mixed up. Someone did make a comment. Maybe we should label which one is which. We could do that maybe in the future.
We could. There are 3 buttons, and they've been that way for 2 years.
Yeah, well, harder than it looks, bro.
Yeah, I actually think we need to get you more drops anyway. I want it digitally labeled.
Okay, A, B, and C. So you'd think bomb would be B, but
or
it's not because boo is B. So that's where you get tripped up. And A for applause, obviously. C for.
But you could argue, what if it's A for atom bomb, B for boo, C for clap?
There's a lot of arguments you can make, and this is why the soundboard is so complicated, and it's one of the most confusing things I've ever seen in my life. So you could, there's some sympathy to be had at home for the podcaster.
You guys don't know how hard it is.
It's harder than it looks, motherfuckers. CJ Abrams could be on the move, which would tear my heart out as a not Nationals fan, fake Nats fan. Because it's been great to see those boys bop, bro. They've been bopping.
The Nationals are so good. We're at the part where we're like, should we be back on the Nationals hate train? Because we're both Braves fans, but they've been fun to watch, and we live here. It's tough.
It is one of the funnest teams to watch because they do just hit a fuck ton of bombs, give up a fuck ton of bombs, and play 10-run games every single night. But, I mean, they could get a lot for CJ Abrams right now, who I believe is, 3rd in the league in OPS, and, he's on a scorcher. Where does he rank in WAR right now?
He is 8th in WAR, despite being one of the worst defensive shortstops in baseball. He has, 27 home runs. He hit 6 home runs this week alone. He had 2 two-homer games this week.
What do they say, Mitch? They say, sell high. Buy low, sell high. If you're going to want to sell high, maybe this is the time to sell for CJ Abrams. You'd have to have some nuts to trade CJ Abrams right now if you're the Nationals. I don't see it happening. I don't want it to happen, but you never fucking know. And the Athletic predicts it. So who am I to say the Athletic is wrong? The Athletic is wrong. Just did it. Another bombshell drop today. So Ketel Marte has cleared his Instagram of almost all his D-backs content and is no longer following the team. Ketel Marte. So in 2025, he's got a little bit of a history with his own organization. They have not really gotten along from time to time. He was criticized in 2025 for taking too many days off. So gotten a little bit of some rumors circulating that his teammates were frustrated with his behavior, being a little lazy and didn't want to play and put his body on the line. This criticism started in 2024 when he took a day off after the D-backs blew an AO lead to the Brewers. They lost this game. I believe that was in September, right?
This was in September. The Diamondbacks, Braves, and Mets were all in a postseason race. The D-backs had the lead at that point. They blew a lead to the Brewers, and the next day, Marte is like, I need a day off.
Yep. So he requested a day off. Ended up missing the playoffs by 1 game, so they were not happy about this. They exposed him in the media for being lazy. Somebody did. Then in July, he missed 3 games back from the All-Star game. Was that last year or the year before?
That was the last year.
So in 2025, he goes to the All-Star game, then misses 3 days after the All-Star game. So he returns to the team 3 days late. Now, there was a story that came out during that time that his house got robbed in the Dominican Republic. So that's what he was doing. He was handling that in the Dominican. That's why he couldn't get back to the team in time. However, there are some reports that he already had that trip planned. He was going to do it anyway. Either way, he was late to return back to the team, ended up coming up and apologizing for missing the 3 days after the All-Star break.
So his home in Phoenix got robbed.
Okay.
He had a trip planned to the DR after the All-Star game. He goes to Atlanta. He plays in the All-Star game. Then he goes to the DR. He finds out his house in Phoenix got robbed. And for some reason, that's the reason he decided to stay a few extra days.
Listen, I mean, if they're going to rob your house in Phoenix, you know what they're going to do next. You got to go home and you got to guard the house.
You got to play defense.
It is what it is. The best offense is a great defense, and Ketel Marte, he knows a lot about offense and defense. So he comes back 3 days late from the All-Star break last year, and at the end of last season, the Diamondbacks came out and said that they would listen to trade offers for Marte over the offseason, which shocked everybody because this guy's been a beast for them. They gave him a big extension, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger for him, finished 4th in MVP voting twice for him, was the MVP of the NLCS in 2023, brought him to a World Series appearance, and now they want to trade his ass. They even asked him if he thought he was going to get traded over this past offseason. He said, sí, which is yes in Spanish, by the way. And then this season, more reports came out earlier that the Diamondbacks were becoming frustrated with Ketel Marte based on his off days that he was taking. He was taking too many rest days. What are they called in the NBA? Load management. He's managing loads too much. Then the manager came out, defended him, saying he was great in the clubhouse. There isn't any truth to the rumors. However, just this past week, according to D-backs Insider IG, D-backs Insider IG, Ketel Marte cleared all his Instagram of his D-backs content. So there's no pictures of him in D-backs gear. He unfollowed the team on Instagram, and so that's leading to speculation that the guy wants out. So Marte does have a no-trade clause. However, if he's unfollowing the team on Instagram, seems like he wants to get traded. So that's another potential trade, which would be a massive bombshell. I mean, the Diamondbacks are only a few games out as well over there in the NL.
Yeah, they actually are in a wild card spot. They have a 1-game lead over the Nationals and Pirates. So this was a big series in DC this past weekend. They lost the series. They still have the wild card spot, though. So if the season ended today, the D-backs are in the playoffs.
Insane, yes. You usually don't trade your best player or second best player. Probably Corbin Carroll, probably put him over him. When you're in a playoff spot, however, it could be a situation of a addition by a subtraction. Trade the toxicity out of the clubhouse, get the vibes up, and prepare for the future. You never frickin' know.
It is worth noting that Marte has not been as good this year as he's been over the last 3 seasons with the Diamondbacks. This year he has a 108 OPS plus. He's still worth a 1.7 WAR, but he's not the Silver Slugger that he was.
And he's got a shit ton left on his contract, right?
They just extended him last year. So last April, he got a 6-year extension. All of this is drama. He gets signed in April to another extension. He's had 3 with the Diamondbacks. And then they owe him, I believe, $70 million after this season. And he has a player option for his age 37 season.
Insane. I mean, he's coming off the 2 best seasons of his career. This year has been bad. But yeah, I thought that extension, I mean, this is a second extension, right? Third extension. That's crazy. But hey, you never freaking know. The Astros could move on from Christian Walker, according to reports, while they still are operating as buyers.
Maybe the D-backs reacquire Christian Walker?
Hey, man. Don't the Astros need a third baseman? Because Correa's out, and Marte doesn't play third base. He plays second base. But
they can always put Altuve back in left field.
Put Altuve in left field. Put him at third. He can do it all, baby. And then we got some other conflicting reports. Not conflicting, but the Nationals plan to at least add 1 big league player and will consider acquiring a player on expiring contract if they deem it the right fit, per Spencer Nosbaum. This was before they acquired Connerly early. So they did
they did what they claimed they were doing.
They fulfilled the prophecy, and they got a pitcher. Connerly early for Curtis Mead, which I don't know how you feel about this trade. I actually kind of love this trade for the Nats. Curtis Mead, who was DFA'd last year at the All-Star break, right? Or I don't know when it was, but he got DFA'd by the White Sox. Yeah, got DFA'd by the worst team in the league. An Australian lad. Gets signed to the Nationals. All he does so far for the Nationals is hit a fucking 500 slug and 852 OPS, 133 OPS plus in his first 87 games. This is the first time in his career he's hit well at all. He's only 25, so he's only played in 4 seasons, really less because 90 games, 38 games, 24. This is the first time basically starting an entire season. And the first time he's produced, and immediately, as soon as they see a sign of life, they flip him to the Red Sox for Connerly Early.
It's not a great first name.
Connolly Early.
It does feel like it's like Colonel, It feels like it should have an R in there. But Meade was at one point a pretty big prospect. He ranked in Baseball America's top 100 3 times. He was famously traded for Christopher Sanchez in 2019, which did not work out for the Rays. It's one of the few trades Tampa Bay has made that they probably regret. But since he came up to the big leagues, he hadn't hit. He had a 75 OPS plus over the last 3 seasons in 152 games. At the very end of spring training this year, the White Sox designated him for assignment. So the Nationals just took a flyer on him. And I think if you're the Nationals, it's a pretty good return on investment. They sent a guy named Boston Smith to the White Sox in March. They get a 133 OPS plus from Meade. They have a great offense and terrible pitching. So they use that surplus in offense to get a pitcher who should be coming back from the injured list in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so
and
early.
6 years of team control, I believe.
Both of them have a bunch of team control, right?
Yeah, Meade. So this is a great deal for the Red Sox, too, if you really buy into Meade's breakout season. Because if you're the Red Sox, you've just acquired a solid bat for the next 4 seasons. And he's a very pull-happy hitter, which should fare well at Fenway.
Yeah. So it looks like on paper, good trade for both teams. I will say that, Meade really has been really bad in the major leagues until this year.
You really have to question.
It is a little it's a little worrisome if it's like, okay, this guy has 2.5 months, 3 months of like being good. We're gonna give up a young pitcher who was a postseason hero last year. Dude.
And he came into this year as the 65th best prospect in baseball. It is, I think, a riskier trade for the Red Sox than the Nationals. But Early has overperformed his FIP this year. He's been a little lucky in that regard. He has been on the IL for the past month with elbow inflammation, which is never a safe bet for a pitcher going forward. And the Red Sox clearly believe that Meade's bat is for real. I don't know if I do.
Time will tell, man. It's too early to know if Connolly Early for Curtis Meade is a good deal. More rumors in Nationals land. Phillies, Rays, and Red Sox have all shown interest in Foster Griffin. If the Nats just turn around and say, you know what, fuck it, dude. We're going to trade Foster Griffin, our best pitcher, who's been absolutely insane this year. I saw a breakdown of the Nats, win-losses, and, Foster Griffin, when he starts, the Nats are, 14-5 when Foster Griffin starts, and every other starter has a losing record.
They're even better than that. They're 17-4 in Foster Griffin starts. Keep in mind, the Nationals are 2 games above 500. So when Foster Griffin's on the mound, they are 13 games above 500.
Yeah, and then Jake Irving is 5-4 when he starts, and every other pitcher has an insanely terrible record when he starts, including bullpen games. So if it wasn't for this guy, the Nats would be a last place team. 2.76 ERA, 3.8 WAR. People are going to offer a lot for him. I mean, the Nats. I don't think the Nats are going to sell. I mean, even if the Nats don't win this year, they still got the 2 boppers next year. So why the fuck sell?
I do think they're in that position, though, where the Nationals can do what they've already done for Meade. Is their offense is ridiculously overperforming, and they've got some surplus in the outfield. Right now, they have James Wood, Dalen Lyle, Jacob Young, and Dylan Cruz that they're all trying to rotate in and out of the outfield. Obviously, they're not going to trade James Wood, but Jacob Young, Dalen Lyle. I don't know if a team would want Dylan Cruz, and I don't know if the Nationals would sell low on Dylan Cruz, but Lyle and Young's a great defensive outfielder. Lyle had a great September last year. Both of those guys are team controlled. If they can turn around and get a couple arms where the Nationals have been really bad, they would be in a playoff spot right now if it wasn't for the pitching. So they get a bullpen arm, they get another starter. They're 1 game back from a playoff spot right now. That could get them in there.
Can we get them a reliever now? Maybe they trade for Lars Nootbaar. Really throw people off. We need another outfielder.
A fifth outfielder.
The Cardinals are expected to trade Lars Nootbaar, Japanese legend. And then the biggest rumor right now is got to be Skubal. So Skubal, if you don't know, now you know. Tarik Skubal, best pitcher in baseball since 2023. Most WAR for a pitcher, second lowest ERA, lowest FIP, highest strikeout rate, won back-to-back Cy Youngs. One of only 12 players to ever do that. He's projected to get $400 to $500 million in free agency this offseason. The problem is the Tigers' biggest free agent deal ever signed was $214, so that's less than half. Also, that was over a decade ago. I don't think this new ownership, which I think is the son of the old owner, I don't fucking remember the facts, but that sounds like it's right. What?
No, what?
You're a Tigers fan. Who's the owner?
It's the son. It's the Ilitches.
It's the son, Illich.
The Little Caesars famous people. They own Detroit.
Shout out to the Illiches. Rest in peace to the older Illich. Didn't they write a book about that?
Did they?
The death of Ivan Illich? Come on, bro. It's Tolstoy. Anyway, what the death of the Tigers owner? Come on, bro. They have a whole book about it. You should know this. You're the researcher.
I've never put those names in my head as the same.
Listen, bro. Either way, Tarik Skubal is alive and well, not dying anytime soon. But the Tigers probably can't afford him. And the Tigers sucked dick this year until about June 1st. Since then, they've been amazing. Skubal also got hurt, so there was a drama there. Then the Tigers got better, and the question is, do you trade him? Do you keep him? Should I stay or should I go? If they want to trade him, they'll get a lot for him. Okay, the Dodgers are expected to go all in on Skubal. So if you thought the Dodgers were good already, just wait till they get the best pitcher in baseball on the team to add on to the other 4 best pitchers in baseball who are already on the team. So the Tigers are expected to go all in on Skubal. The Yankees have been checking in on Skubal. The big players want Skubal. Everyone wants Skubal. The Tigers also want Skubal. Unfortunately, after this year, they're not going to be able to afford Skubal. The plan was to keep Skubal this year. This is why they didn't trade him in the offseason. And they came into the season. Everyone thought the Tigers were going to be a great team. They were one game away from the ALCS last year. Blew it at the ALCS last year. Blew it, didn't blow it, but lost a tight series. Were projected to win the division this year. Unfortunately, in May, they blew it in May. So in May, they went 6-22. They were in last place. They had the worst record in baseball at one point. Playoff odds were down to 9.8%. Skubal was hurt for a while. They literally invented a surgery to get this guy back on the field. And it actually works. So since June 1st, though, the Tigers have turned it around quietly. They are 28-18, 4th best record in baseball, but they're still 6 games below 500. Despite that, 3.5 games out of a playoff spot right now. And the question is do you keep them or not? Now, this weekend did not help their case to keep Skubal. They blow 2 games to the Royals, the worst team in baseball, and they really blow them. I mean, go-ahead home run in the 9th to Nick Lofton, and then another go-ahead home run in the 8th on Sunday. The Tigers have lost 17 games after leading in the 7th inning or later, which is the most in baseball per Tigers data. 1/3 of their games in May resulted in a blown save. So if it wasn't for May, or were these relievers blowing shit late, there wouldn't be a question of whether they keep Skubal or not, but now there is. You can see both sides of the coin here. One side of the coin is you'll get a shit ton for him. The other side of the coin is you're still in the race. And you're in the AL where anything can happen. They're 3.5 games back. What are their playoff odds right now?
Jack just moved his chair and I thought someone was breaking in.
Yeah, I actually have been making a lot of noise over here for the last 5 minutes. Sorry about that.
So the playoff odds for the Tigers right now are 32.2%.
32.2%. Now, maybe a math guy would be like, wow, that's not, well, if you think about the surplus value you could get with the Skubal trade, like, are you going to risk 32%? But they had 0.8% and made the playoffs 2 years ago. So they're looking good.
And 1/3 odds for a lot of things you'll take, if you had 1/3 odds of winning $1 billion, you take it every time.
And if they win the World Series, that's basically $1 billion. You gonna talk or not? You're pressing a button.
Jack really wants to say something. He might have even switched the camera back over to him.
No, I didn't. I was just you're like, oh, 1/3 chance at $1 million, you'll take it. But like, what's the alternative? Like, if you lose it, what are you betting?
I mean, you can fill it in.
I'm just saying, it's not just the percentage. It's like, what do you wait?
I mean, if it's 1/3 odds, you win $1 billion or you die. Maybe not that extreme, but like.
Would you take that?
The Tigers are not going to cease.
The point is,
exist.
if you had a 1 in 3 chance to get $1 billion, you'd be fucking hyped and you'd be very excited. You'd say, there's a good chance I get $1 billion. If you got a 1 in 3 chance to make the playoffs, why aren't you feeling the same way? There's a really good chance we make the playoffs this year. Why are we acting like we're not going to make the playoffs? We got a 1 in 3 chance. All you're doing is changing the variable, which is the $1 billion, or making the playoffs. Now, if you're a Tigers fan, you're 1/3 away from a playoff spot. And since June 1st, you're a top 10 offense and the lowest ERA in baseball. You're in a weak division. You're in a weak league, too. That's another thing. If you make the playoffs, they could go to the fucking World Series. Who are they competing against in the AL? Who are you really scared of?
Well, now you're scared of the Red Sox and the Yankees.
The Red Sox.
And the Rays and the White Sox maybe, but like the Guardians just got swept by the Rays. The Guardians have 4 more wins than the Tigers right now. And as we saw with Boston, that can change really fast.
Well, Mitchell, I'll ask you then. Do you think they should trade Scoobs?
The biggest issue with keeping Skubal is that there's this luxury tax twist that basically dictates that if the Tigers keep Skubal, they really can't add anybody at the deadline, or else when Skubal does leave the Tigers in free agency, which we agree is pretty inevitable, I would put Skubal's chance at re-signing with the Tigers.
He gone.
1%, maybe.
Less than 33%.
The Tigers are right at the luxury tax threshold. The current CBA states that if they exceed a certain dollar amount spent, that compensation pick for Skubal goes from the first round to the 4th round, which is not only a big drop in quality during the draft, but it's like millions and millions of dollars in draft bonus pools, which is what teams really care about. So if the Tigers keep Skubal, they basically can't do anything to the roster.
But how much are they over the luxury test? $1 million?
They're right at the line. They're like within the 100,000.
Oh, dude, they could figure that out, bro.
So if they keep Skubal, they're gonna have to move pieces around, and if they want to make any additions, it's gonna be addition by subtraction.
Well, listen, so do you think they should trade him or not?
I think they should go for it. But
go for what? The World Series?
I think you're right. I mean, the AL Central is remarkably weak. The Royals are out of it. The Twins are still in it. But the Guardians are within an arm's reach of the Tigers. They're basically one good series away, if the Tigers play the Guardians, from surpassing Cleveland. And you've got the best pitcher in baseball. There's an argument where you can make that the Tigers should trade Skubal for someone. Like, imagine if he gets traded to the Tigers and the Dodgers say, we'll give you Roki Sasaki plus.
Oh, yeah, I'm shit.
You entertain that, definitely.
Yeah, you got to listen to offers.
But I don't think you should trade Skubal unless it's major league talent.
Yeah, you need a big return for Scoobs, right? I mean, what the fuck why did I do? Okay, so Skubal, I mean, his last 2 starts, he's been dominant since he's come back. I mean, he was a little bit shaky for Skubal standards after the Skubal scope surgery, but the last 2 starts, seven innings both times, gave up 1 earned run in both of them, struck out 12 against the Royals this weekend, saved him. His ERA is down to a 2.70, so the guy's on top of his game right now. A lot of people are comparing this to Ohtani in 2023 when it was obvious he was not going to re-sign with the Angels in the offseason. Any team would have given the Angels a fuck ton of shit for Ohtani at the deadline.
We know someone who would have been traded for Ohtani. Junior Caminero was a piece.
Right. So they would have got all-star and one of the youngest, best players in baseball for Ohtani. If they would have went through with it. The Angels said, fuck that, we're going for it. They bought a bunch of players at the deadline, and it all fell to shit. They all sucked. Shohei got hurt. All the players they signed for sucked. They ended up getting worse, and basically it was in hindsight, a dumb move not to trade Shohei. The difference is that the Angels were an untested team who never even got close to the playoffs with Shohei. The Tigers were one win away from the ALCS last year, and they won the division 2 years ago, and this is basically the same roster. This is a better roster because you added Framber. Who did they add? Anybody else that you can think of? Either way, you came into the season thinking you're going to be a contender. You dealt with a lot of injuries. A lot of these guys are coming back. You got Baez coming back off the IL. Wait until Trey Sweeney comes off the IL. Well, he's probably out for the season. But Baez comes off the IL. Jack Flaherty comes off the IL. Jackson Jobe is out for the...
And don't forget Justin Verlander.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the team had a bad May, but where you stand right now with you're within splitting distance, you got a good roster who last year went deep into the playoffs. Why not just go for it? Once you get into the playoffs, anything can fucking happen. And it's not like this American League is overly stacked where you have a chance against any team in the American League in a 7-game series.
I also think like the Tigers are 50-56. It's not a good record. They're in 4th place. But they were good in April. Before Skubal went on the IL, they were 500 team. They were a 500 team. Skubal goes on the IL, and they become the worst hitting team in baseball. Bizarre. And then Skubal comes back. Their pitching is back. Their hitting is back. If you can't just eliminate a whole month of baseball. But as they've been playing before and after Skubal's injury, I do think it indicates that they're better than a 50-56 team.
They need to add, Mitch. They need to get some bullpen in there, and I think that's what they do. I think there's a very little chance. The only thing I can think of is if the Dodgers like really like offer Roki or some crazy shit, like yeah, you got to consider it. Now there are reports that that rival executives think that the Tigers are going to trade Skubal, yet still play as if they are trying to add. So basically convince their fan base that they're not surrendering and trade Skubal. Basically trade Skubal for major league guys plus prospects. It would be like a Roki situation. Plus you get some Dodgers prospects, plus some guys already good for the Dodgers now. That's what some executives are predicting. My prediction, I think Skubal's staying home.
This week, the Tigers play the Baltimore Orioles, who were the hottest team in baseball prior to playing the second hottest team in baseball prior to playing the
Best
Red Sox.
Baseball.
And then the Braves. And then they play the A's, who have been the worst team in baseball for, a month and a half now? So if the Tigers can win the series against the Orioles, win the series against the A's, that's the trade deadline. That's going to be really hard to sell.
Yep. Blew those 2 games to the Royals, though. That hurt. Those were tough games to watch, too, if you're rooting for the Tigers. But it's not tough to watch the White Sox. The White Sox beat the Rangers 2 out of 3. They lost the series to the Astros, but the White Sox are 2.5 games up right now. This is the biggest lead of the year for the White Sox after this weekend. 2.5 games up with the Guardians. Playoff odds are up to 45%. And Munetaki Murakami has himself a day. So on Sunday, they have Munetaki Murakami bobblehead day. His parents come out from Japan, throw out the first pitch. They have push pop sushi called the Moonshot. This Moonshot sushi sells out in the 4th inning. Push pop sushi. Jack, you're from Japan. Now, is this like a common thing they do out there?
Push pop sushi is something that I've seen recently in LA and stuff that I think is new. I've never seen it there.
Now, is the sushi cold? Because the push pop is cold.
It's as cold as normal sushi is, yeah.
So, well, that's not that cold. I mean, so
that's still cold. It's not like.
Are you asking if it's frozen like a lollipop?
Or no,
like
it's not going to be frozen
like a popsicle.
Yeah.
No, that would be disgusting.
Is sushi cold at home? But leave in the comments. I don't think sushi's cold.
Sushi should be chilled.
What sushi are you eating?
It should be like. It should come out slightly cooler than room temp.
If you're eating sushi and it's not like a little bit cold, I'm questioning the quality.
A little bit.
If
cold,
it's warm, there's a chance that it's a type of roll that they have to make for each order. That happens. The rice will be warm, and sometimes
Listen, sushi can be cool, but it ain't cold, brother. A push pop sushi should be cold. Maybe a frozen sushi coming up soon next year. Either way, the push pop sushi called the Moonshot sells out in the 4th inning. Unbelievable. And what does Munetaki Murakami do? Does what he always does. I have power. 3 for 5 with 2 homers, 6 RBIs. This motherfucker has more RBIs in this game than any game he's ever had all career in America. And it's at his bobblehead night. It's with his parents there, and it's with the Push Pop Sushi. Leads the White Sox to a win. Leads the White Sox to a 2.5 game lead in first place. Biggest lead of the year. Playoff odds up to 45% over the Guardians. Funny enough, though, according to the analytical people at Fangraphs, the Guardians still have better playoff odds than the White Sox, which doesn't really surprise me. However, it is a little surprising in a sense that the Guardians have been dog shit lately. They just got swept by the Rays. They have the worst offense in baseball, basically. If it's not the worst, it's one of the worst. It does help, though, that Jose Ramirez is off the IL.
Well, you would think that, but then they lost every game this weekend with Jose Ramirez back.
They're worse with Jose, man. Jose. So a tough weekend for the Guardians. Great for Jack's Rays, though. You sweep the Guardians. Wow. Don't come into Tropicana and think you're going to have a cakewalk. Lose 3 in a row against the Rays, man. They can't score for shit, bro.
Got shut out back-to-back days.
Shut out in back-to-back days. Score 3 runs the entire series. And go 2-4 on the week.
They also wasted a Gavin Williams start on Thursday against the Twins. Williams had a 7-inning scoreless outing. He had an immaculate inning, struck out 11 batters. And the only run they could score is a Patrick Bailey homer. So not a great week.
Great trade, though, to get Patrick Bailey. If it wasn't for him, they would have 0.
It is funny. Their offense, the catching, is actually hitting pretty well. Austin Hedges having a good year. Patrick Bailey, since going to the Guardians, has a 90 OPS plus, which for Patrick Bailey is like the best hitting season of his career. And then everyone else on the Guardians can't hit.
Yeah, it's like, it just feels like the Guardians part of me is like, is this just the rope-a-dope? You know, like, I'm going to be honest, man. And I hate to say this to Guardians fans, it's nothing personal. And I do love the people of Cleveland. It's on my bucket list of places to go. Cleveland, Ohio.
I went to Cleveland last year for like 2 days, and I was like, oh, this city is underrated.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
You go?
I didn't go. I was there for a wedding.
Damn, you didn't even go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's still underrated. That's how you know Cleveland is one of the hidden gems in this great country of ours. Fuck. I just looked up on StatMuse. Best MLB record since 23rd. Number 1, Yankees. 9,236 and 6,673. Best record since the 23rd.
The 23rd of what?
I don't know. 1923. I don't know. 9,000 wins for the Yankees since the 23rd. They've had a hot stretch of games. 9,000 wins. But what I'm really looking up is the stretch the Guardians are on, which is not a good stretch. So since May 23rd, they are, 23-31. It's better than I thought, but that not doing great. Unfortunately, I do think they might have a rope-a-dope situation.
That is still the 5th worst record in baseball in the last span.
However, 2.5 games back, and you see it before, bro. Last year, they were a shit ton of games back, and they ended up stealing it from the Tigers. Great pitching staff. So the Guardians, not that much of an exciting team, not a lot of exciting things going on over there, but and you know they're not going to buy.
But you can never write them off.
They'll probably sell and get better. That's my prediction. They'll trade some guys who are doing great and actually get better. Great run organization. Wish they had a little bit more pizzazz, though. Unlike the Royals, who, even though it's been a tough year, they sweep the Giants. Which, goddamn, man, if you're a Giants fan, just gets worse. They sweep the Giants. Close series, man. What an exciting series earlier in the week. No one was paying attention, but 3 one-run games. Okay, we're talking about pitcher duels, everything. Salvador Perez hits the franchise record 317th home run, hits it into the fountain. A Royals faithful, jumped into the fountain. This is history. What does he do? He does what any man would do. He jumps in the fountain. This is history. He's got a Salvador Perez jersey on, jumps in the fountain, gets the ball. What do? They arrest his ass. Gets arrested for chasing history.
Doesn't even get to keep the ball.
So he doesn't get the ball?
and he goes to jail, and Salvador Perez is pleading.
Wait,
like,
how do you know he didn't get to keep the ball?
It was part of the article that like he gets arrested, and because he can't, you're not allowed to jump in the fountains, and so you're not allowed to keep the ball.
Okay, but do they fucking take your possessions away when they arrest you, or do they give them back when you're done?
I do think the ball is like in his hand.
Listen, man,
It should be his at that moment.
This seems like it could be a landmark case. This could go to the Supreme Court. If they
Well,
Goes all the way to the top.
if they get an Atticus Finch up over there in Kansas City, want to stick up for the little man.
When
Yeah.
they call Salvador Perez to the witness stand, and Perez goes, "Let this man have that ball."
Free my man. That's crazy. They took the ball from him. So Salvador Perez comes out after the game, says, "Police, please take care of the job. Please send him home." He wants to free the man, but to get arrested for jumping in the fountain, chasing history, sucks.
I have no problem with him getting arrested. I do have a problem with him not getting the ball. That's so fucked.
That is fucked. But rules are rules, Jack.
Yeah, I don't think he should be arrested.
I mean, that is actually like really, like legally, are they allowed to confiscate a baseball that you got in the crowd? Like,
I don't know what the law, like when does the law consider the transfer of ownership of a home run ball or a foul ball?
I mean, they went to court with this back in like the 20s, Mitchell. Remember this shit with the Phillies, where for a while they were not letting fans take home the ball, and then some kids were just like, fuck it, I'm taking these balls home, and then a lawyer stuck up for them, and I believe there was a case that like basically made it so major league teams had to like let fans take home balls. Granted, if you break the law in possession of a ball, maybe you can get your property confiscated. But this, I would not be surprised if this actually goes to court to get a lawyer on some pro bono.
Well,
shit.
the Royals took the ball and then just gave it to Salvador Perez. So right now the ball is probably in Salvador Perez's possession.
If that.
So maybe Salvador Perez is in possession of stolen goods. So maybe Salvador Perez needs to go to prison. If we got any lawyers who wants to stick up for the little man, go to Kansas City and get this man his ball back.
It is kind of crazy. Like, I understand the trespassing charges for someone who like jumps onto the field, but the fountain is literally the opposite direction of the field.
Also, hey, taxpayer money, no? Don't we?
Apparently, this fountain is privately owned, which I did not realize you could. Oh, I think it's privately owned. Yeah, Kauffman Stadium's Water Spectacular, the largest privately owned fountain system in the world.
So the public pays taxes to build the stadium, and then we got, but this one part of the stadium, this is not, we're not using taxes to make this fountain. This is a privately owned fountain inside the stadium.
You got a picture of this fountain pulled up?
I'm going to buy my own fountain and put it in a stadium and say, this is my fountain. You better get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, pinned comment, follow the link, PDE fountains.
There's no way this is the
largest privately owned fountain. I think it's because who the fuck is wasting their money on? It is a pretty sick fountain.
But it just doesn't scream the largest.
Hey man, you know what they say about Kansas City? You know what they say about Kansas City in the summer?
I've never heard anything about Kansas City.
In the summer?
Just like in general. I don't think I've ever met anyone from Kansas City. I have never heard a review of Kansas City.
He's never even heard
it just
of Kansas
exists.
City. Playing something from his computer.
In August, in Kansas City, it's hotter than two rats in a fucking wool sock.
Oh, I remember that.
I do remember that.
Ichiro says it. Summer in Kansas City is hotter than two rats fucking in a wool sock.
He did fuck it up a little bit. Didn't he say hotter than two rats in a fucking wool sock?
Well, brother, he's Filipino, so it's not his fault. You know, it's not his first language.
Two rats fucking in a wool sock.
Either way, hot. You know it's hot in Kansas City. You know that fountain looks refreshing, and there's history in there. You're gonna jump in the fountain. Free him.
Something that expression cracks me up because he's also implying that he thinks it's hot.
Yeah, it is very.
Like, it's hot.
Ambiguous.
Literally, it's hot, and it's like
he finds it hot.
It's hot.
Hey man, some people are into that kind of stuff. You can't.
The end of that though is the wool sock. Like for him, if you take it as he finds it hot, the last part, the wool sock, is like critical for him.
Because that's the only indication that he thinks it's the temperature.
No, I'm saying if you think he thinks it's hot. Him including the sock makes it critical for him. He needs the rats in the wool sock for him to find it hot.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Mitchell's gone off the rails, man.
Normally, I know exactly what he's talking about, but he lost me there.
He's been doing too much research, bro. He's been looking into the wrong shit. He's lost the plot.
Sometimes you got to pull your researcher back.
Rein them in, guys. All right, but the Twins, they stick in it. Now they're in some trade deadline talks. We covered it with Joe Ryan. A lot of guys want Joe Ryan. A lot of guys want Byron Buxton, but it looks like the Twins might keep him because the Twins right now are in third place, one game back of a wild card spot. I mean, this week they kind of like keep it mid, keep it light, keep it tight. They win 2 out of 3 against the Athletics, and they split a series against the Guardians. Anything stick out for you, Mitchell?
Joe Ryan had a weird time. So he entered the game against the Guardians on Monday with the 14th best qualified homers per 9. He doesn't completely suppress home runs, but he's one of the better pitchers in the league at preventing home runs. He faces off against the Guardians, who are the third worst hitting home run team in MLB, and they hit 6 home runs off of Joe Ryan. His ERA in this game rose 53 points against one of the worst offenses in baseball. But the Twins, they split the series against the Guardians anyway, and then they get to play the A's. The overall, though, I feel like it was a very Twins week. Nothing else beyond that low light really stands out. Their offense was pretty meh until Sunday when they scored 11 runs.
Well, the good news is for them, they have won 4 out of their last 5, despite the 4-game losing streak going into the week. They do have a series against Kansas City right now. Then they go to Seattle. Then they go back to Kansas City. So 6 of their next 9 games are against Kansas City. And as we've covered, Kansas City is the worst team in baseball. So good time for the Royals to get hot. Good time for the Twins to get hot. And a good time for them to get in a playoff spot. But before we get to the next topic, which is all the beefs going around, a lot of fighting and a lot of pettiness going around MLB, we have to cover the brand deal. This week's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek. I am so excited to see my Washington Nationals tonight. Scherzer's coming home.
One last ride at Nats Park.
One last ride for Nats for Scherzer's coming home for Nats. Never say never, Mitchell. I mean the Nationals do need pitching. If they make a move for Scherzer at the deadline, he makes one good start at home, and it's a kumbaya situation. That could be big for the Nats. Either way, Mitchell's going to the game tonight, and he will be using SeatGeek. I use SeatGeek every time. They got everything you need to know. They have over 35 million downloads, number 1 rated ticketing app in the world, over 70,000 live events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. You know I went to a concert this weekend, boys.
The animation
Jason Derulo?
Yeah, I saw Jason Derulo. No, I heard about Jason Derulo at Nats Park. Apparently, it was a disaster.
It was very...
Were you there?
Yeah, it was low energy.
Damn, I heard the microphone cut out.
It cut out for like 10 minutes. I think his earpiece was messing up.
But he's a good dancer.
It was a fun concert after that.
These are the live performance moments that you miss without SeatGeek.
You would never see a terrible concert live. I mean, I used to, I went to the, you laugh, but bro, like one of the best live performances I ever saw was at the All-Star game, Home Run Derby 2023 or 2024 with that drunk lady at the All-Star game sang the national anthem. It was electric. One of the most awkward things ever. And I don't know.
I do like that type of shit.
I don't know for a fact if I use SeatGeek going in there. I believe that was for comp tickets. But if I was going again, I'd use motherfucking SeatGeek because they got everything. MLB's in full swing. You got to go to a game. Please take advantage of the nice weather. Get out to a game because there's only a few more months left of baseball games, guys. Take advantage of it. NFL schedule is out. I believe that they had freaking preseason games this weekend for NFL. So football season is approaching rapidly. you're going to want to make a move. It is the MLB's official ticket marketplace. Your tickets are fully guaranteed, instantly fulfilled on your account with your purchase. I love using SeatGeek. I use this motherfucker all the time. They rate your tickets on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. You look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. Stay away from the red. Get the green, and you're looking good. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And the number one reason to buy SeatGeek, other than you're going to get a good deal no matter what, is you're going to get an even better deal with us, all right? So if you use code PDE10, you get 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code PDE10. So make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. You don't even have to use it right now, but if you click the link, download it now, put that code in, you can get that thing for later. So when you want to pull the trigger, you pull the trigger, man. It's time to have some fun and see some live events, motherfuckers. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring. Again, one more time, PDE10 for 10% off your tickets at SeatGeek.
If you weren't watching too, we were like going through the website while you were doing that, and the interface is like insane. Like you like fly around in this like 3D map that works really quickly, which is also rare for a website that does anything.
It's almost it's fun to kind of.
It is. Around. You're like flying. You literally feel like you're like, oh, this is what my view will actually look like. Then you click on the seat, and then it's like, oh, here's a photo that a person took in that seat. Like it's crazy. It is.
Maybe do a little window shopping.
Yeah.
I think while you were doing the ad read, we looked at like 10 different sections and where we could sit tonight for Scherzer's last Nationals Park start.
It's not his last start, bro.
Nationals Park start.
Bro, it's going to be Blue Jays Nats World Series.
What's the Kalshi odds?
All right, so go to PD10, your net at SeatGeek.com. All right, I'm going to go pee, and then we can talk about the next shit. So a heated week too, right? A lot of fights going around, a lot of little pettiness going around MLB. So a player unfollowed his own team and deleted all the photos of himself in the uniform on Instagram. We covered this, Ketel Marte. But you unfollow your own team on Instagram, that is the definition of pity. A team fought over this. What I'm referring to is a player walking on the mound. So the Nationals got into it over some mound antics. Get off my fucking mound, bro. You can't do that. That started a fight. A team fought over this, and by this I mean José Caballero. It has since been banned from baseball. So José Caballero has been nerfed doing his little pitch clock antics. I don't know how you would describe it, but that is no longer legal in baseball. There was a fireworks show in Richmond that got out of hand. This is one of the funniest clips you'll see this season. I'm sad we missed this game. Check this shit out. A little post-game fireworks.
Whoa.
You got audio?
Got out of hand. The Richmond Flying Squirrels game. They really wanted to put on a show. And boy, did it get out of hand. I believe the good parts are the loss. But they were sending fireworks straight into the crowd. By accident. Fire in the hole, baby.
Oh my God.
Damn.
That's so funny.
Hey, bro. A player called an umpire a fat ass, which you don't see every day. Very disrespectful. The Reds are losing 7-0 in the 7th. Caleb Ferguson gives up a grounder up the middle. Edwin Arroyo goes up the middle, tries to make a play on it, runs into the umpire. The pitcher, Caleb Ferguson, goes on to yell, quote, fucking fat ass, get out of the way, at umpire Bill Miller, whose response is hilarious. He kind of just gives him a nod. Okay.
People were saying it was a very Jerry Gergich thing from Parks and Rec to do. He just takes it. He's like, yes, I am a fat ass.
I think, an umpire, a man can admit when he's wrong. He did get in the way a little bit, got caught in no man's land. Either way, very rude thing to do and say. Wasn't a good look. After the game, Caleb Ferguson did apologize to the umpire, said, quote, I don't feel good about it. I'm going to make it right with him. So that's good that they, hopefully they squared that away. Not appropriate to fat shame.
I do think that's the only time in MLB history a player has called an umpire a fucking fat ass, get out of the fucking way, and not been ejected.
That's what I think the umpire really was like, hey, man, I mean, I deserved that one. I was in the way.
Maybe if I was a little skinnier, I would have got out of the way a little faster.
John Boy did a good breakdown of it. They had old videos of him. Guy was in great shape back in the day, and he had old clips of him getting out of the way of balls. It was like, really
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
When Ferguson said those words, Miller was flashback into his younger years and going, damn, I used to be better than this.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's just kind of a good description of the Reds season this year, which has not gone great. They're down to 16.5 games back of the Brewers. Remember when that division was a crapshoot, anyone's division? Not anymore. They are 6 games back of a wild card spot, so they're probably sellers. Anyone you think could go from the Reds? Brady Singer? I don't know what his contract's looking like, but Ellie De La Cruz on the move?
Yeah, I think he's the one guy that they're absolutely set on. JJ Bleday is one guy a lot of people have talked about trading. He's an outfielder. He's not really like a player that they basically got him off waivers or signed him after he got released. He's had a good season so far. Free agent in 2029 would be like a sell high thing. Other than that, man, I really don't think they have a lot of pieces. Eugenio's been bad.
Yeah, I mean, but still, and who knows? They've won 4 out of their last 5. They did win a series against the Cardinals, so that's good. But still in last place. Probably not buyers.
A much bigger hill to climb than the Tigers.
Yeah. Also, some injuries around the league. Bobby Witt Jr. is on the IL now. Juan Soto has landed on the IL. Cody Bellinger is now on the IL. Shea Langoliers is likely out for the season with a torn meniscus. And Joshua Kuroda Grauer ruptures his testicle. So this guy hits his first career home run. Few innings later, hits himself in the nuts with a foul ball. What does he do? Comes back. All right, so he hits himself in the nuts here. Gotta be a bad feeling, I assume.
Not even a bounce, just straight into the balls.
Straight into the nuts. No cup, it seems. But he stays in the game after this, recovers, and just knocks a base hit right after this. So shout out to, how do you pronounce his name? Do you know?
You said it right.
Joshua Kuroda Grauer hits his first major league home run, then hits himself in the nuts, ruptures a testicle, then hits a base hit. He had to undergo surgery after the game for a ruptured testicle. Hasn't played since. I don't know. Did he go on the IL?
Yeah, he went on the IL.
I guess a ruptured testicle surgery does, probably playing with a limp after that for a little bit.
I cannot believe he had a single after rupturing his testicle.
Damn. And he had a great start to his career. I think he's played 16 something games. OPS over 1,000 so far for the A's, who I don't have much to cheer about right now. The A's, like I said, lost Shea Langoliers, lost a series to the Diamondbacks, did lose a series against the Twins too. So there's a lot of losing going on in Oakland. Sorry to Dallas Braden, the color commentator, who is a good friend of mine. But speaking of Dallas Braden, we had a get off my mound incident in Colorado. So it's Nats versus Rockies in Colorado. Andres Chaparro hits a homer in the first inning, right? Later in the 5th, he hits another ball in the outfield. This gets caught. So while going back to the dugout, he steps on the back of the mound here. Rockies pitcher, Kyle Freeland, doesn't appreciate this at all. Says, quote, "Stay off the fucking mound. That's my fucking mound. Have some respect one time." Can you have respect just once? I mean, an example of blatant disrespect by the hitter. Now, a lot of people who aren't in the weeds on baseball would say, why do you give a fuck that you step on the mound? And the answer is, it's because it's his mound. And you don't do that. We've seen this before. Famously, Dallas Braden told Alex Rodriguez to get off his mound. Then we got another example. Freddie Galvis crossed the mound on Miles Michaelis. That caused benches to clear back in 2019. So this is a big no-no. The bench is clear in Colorado over a mound incident. Whose side are you on, Jack?
It's one of those things where, in the culture, you're not supposed to step on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think stepping on the mound is a big deal, but because of the culture, then you step on the mound. I get that it feels a little disrespectful, but he also barely stepped on the mound. I actually do think that he didn't do it on purpose, because if you were gonna do the Muhammad Ali step over, if you were trying to be disrespectful, you would just walk across that fucking mound.
You mean the Allen Iverson step over?
No.
Okay. I don't.
Oh well, that too, I guess. Stepping over people in sports is a thing, obviously.
Is a mound a person?
No, I just mean it's like a sign. It's a disrespectful path to take. to step on the mound. But I don't think he really got one foot on like the bottom little edge of the mound, didn't he?
It was barely. If you look at this incident from 2019, the Michaelis Galvis one, Galvis goes like all the way on it.
Hey. That's deliberate.
Hey!
He's on the incline of the mound. You know what I mean?
Hey!
And I think with Freeland and Chaparro, man, you have to like call MLB replay and say, hey, did he step on the mound? And then the umpires in New York are like, yeah, he stepped on the mound. But with this one, it's very clear and convincing.
A lot of people say, listen, if you're getting mad because a guy stepped on a little bit of dirt, you're a little sensitive. But a lot of other people say, you got to protect your turf, baby. You don't come on my mound. The mound is for the what? Pitcher.
There's rules like this in a lot of sports, though.
What is Andres Chaparro?
A pitcher.
No, he's not. He ain't a pitcher. Get off the mound, man. What other? You can think of some other unwritten rules?
Okay, in hockey, if the play ends and then you just toss the puck into the net and it enters the net, like you basically take a shot after the play ends, the whole team will fight you right then and there every single time.
You don't do that.
You can't do that.
You don't fucking do that, man.
And the goalies think of it as this like, I haven't let a puck cross this line all game, and then your little bullshit like fucks up like the sense of the vibe. It's like, yeah, like you're messing up the chemistry of me and the net. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, there's some things you just don't do. You don't cross another man. You don't touch my truck. Don't touch my hat. Don't touch my dip. Don't touch my fucking mound.
What's another good one? I feel like there's others.
Golfing, when you make a sound when someone is about to swing, like any sound.
Yeah, but that's actually against the rules, isn't it? I guess maybe not. I don't really know.
Is that a rule or is it an unwritten rule?
I'm not much on the golf. I don't know much about golf. I do know that in some sports you're not allowed to like steroids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think that also
steroids.
might be a written rule at this point. It used to be an unwritten rule.
True.
Now it's written.
Either way, the Nationals getting this beef, but you can't slow them down. The Nationals are on fire right now. They've won 6 of their last 9 games after the All-Star break. James Woods, second best OPS in baseball. C.J. Abrams, fifth OPS. C.J. Abrams has the 5th best OPS in baseball. So the Nationals have 2 of the 5 best hitters in the league by OPS. So in the end, right now, top 3 hitters by OPS, Juan Soto, James Wood, C.J. Abrams, they got traded for each other 3 years ago, which is insane. That 3 players involved in a trade are now the 3 best hitters in the league, according to OPS. Pretty freaking good, but none of them are as good as C.J. Abrams right now, who has 6 home runs in his last 7 games, has 26 on the seasons, the most of any shortstop in Nationals/Expos history. This week, he led the league in WAR, homers, RBIs, average, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS, has 7 home runs in his past 7 games and 14 RBIs in 7 games, putting the team on his back. Has more homers by himself in the second half than the Blue Jays, Orioles, Mariners, Twins, White Sox, Cardinals, and Angels have. The guy's out homering entire teams, motherfucker. Was asked on Sunday how he would describe the Washington Nationals. What do you have to say about this?
How to describe this team?
Lit.
What's
Lit,
the word
bro.
we use right now?
And it is lit in Washington. So
The caption for the Nationals tweet was just a ton of ellipses. Lit.
ellipses. If you know what an ellipse is in the comments, please let me know. Because I yet to know what it is. You know what it is, Jack?
I haven't seen the Odyssey yet.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I don't know what an ellipsis is.
Spoiler alert.
Ellipses is a grammatical figure symbol bullshit thing.
You talking about you talking about an underscore?
I'm talking about the dots.
Dot, 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 dot.
Oh, dot 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 is it an ellipses? Oh,
Let's go. The more you know.
I feel stupid because I feel like I've been calling it a dot dot dot.
I think that's a perfectly acceptable synonym.
Hit him with a dot, dot,
If
dot.
anything, that's more descriptive.
People are going to know what you're talking about. If you want to sound smart like Mitchell.
I just couldn't say, there are 30 dots here. 50 dots. We'd be here a little too long.
Let's count the dots. Maybe not. Either way, Nationals currently lead the league in home runs and steals. No team has done that in a season since 1955. That's from Sarah Langs. Nasim Nunez leads the league in steals. C.J. Abrams leads the league in RBI. James Wood leads the league in walks and runs and leads the NL in OPS. They enter the season with 0.8% playoff odds. Right now, they are one game back of a wild card spot. And according to the reports, you heard me say it earlier, they're planning to add at least one big league player, and they did. They traded for Connolly early. So they got a new starter in Washington. He's injured right now, but expected to be back in August. And that's going to be a big shot in the arm, bro, because their pitching is dog shit. But their hitting is amazing. And they can keep this up. They could be going to the playoffs. It also helps that the freaking Marlins, Jack. Did I clap? I meant to bomb. Your Marlins, bro. I don't know if you saw this, man, but you might want to fucking leave the premises.
I think he's getting choked up, man.
I mean, it has been one of the worst stretches of baseball.
I know you guys can't see me right now.
The downfall needs to be studied for the Miami Marlins, man. They might have to move from Miami, go back to Florida. Before the All-Star break, they got swept by the Guardians. After the All-Star break, they got swept by the Brewers. This week, they get swept by the Astros. Then this weekend, they get swept by the Padres. That is 12 games in a row that they have lost, the biggest losing streak in franchise history. And that is a franchise that is used to losing. Their AAA team, this is insane, is also on a 12-game losing streak. So at the same time, their AAA and Major League team are on a combined 24-game losing streak, which you just don't see every day. Maybe the first time ever. We don't fucking know. We don't really care. What we do care about is they went from 10 games over to now being 2 games under 500 in just, a couple weeks. So on July 9th, they had won 26 of 33 games. They had tied the Phillies in second place. Bro, they were in second place tied with the Phillies. We're 3 games above the Cardinals for the second wildcard spot, comfortably in a playoff spot. Since July 10th, they are last in runs scored, last in average, last in on-base percentage, last in hits, blown 3 saves, and have a 4.66 team ERA. They've gone 0-12, went from 10 games over to being 10 games under, went from being tied in second to being in fourth. They are now behind the Nationals. Yikes. And their playoff odds went from 51% to 8%. That is a 43% drop in just 13 games. Yikes, that's Mets-esque. Not a single qualified hitter with an OPS over 800 since July 10th. Otto Lopez, who we sucked off going at the All-Star break, bro, 158 since July 10th. Xavier Edwards, 191 since then. Kyle Stowers, 178. So their offense has completely lost it. And Max Meyer, their best pitcher this season so far, goes on the IL. So it gets bad. It gets worse. I believe this stretch really coincided with them taking out Yuri Perez. I believe that's what started this bad stretch. They take out Yuri Perez during a perfect game, upset the baseball gods, and what do you get? You get 12 losses in a row.
It is close to coinciding, but not quite. They did sweep the Mariners right after that.
Okay. Well, still.
Sometimes the baseball gods...
3-12 since then?
The baseball gods make you want to think you've escaped, and then they go psych.
But you can't, guys. You can't. So the Marlins, man, the mighty Marlins have turned into the measly Marlins. And now they're behind the Nationals. So we'll see what's going on with the New Orleans, if they can get hot again, or if they lost all their momentum and they're going to start selling people because of this. But, yeah, it sucks. Granted, they are still, a few games out of a playoff spot. They could get hot. It's not like it's over. But 12 in a row really fucking hurts.
10 games over 500 to 2 games under is brutal.
In a blink of an eye, Mitch. Yeah, they got swept before the All-Star break. They're like, thank God we got the All-Star break. This is going to turn us around, the momentum. We lost our momentum, but now we got the All-Star break reset, and it's just got even worse. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. They got a lot of work to do if they want to catch the Braves. So great week for the Braves, I'd say. Are you happy with this week?
It was a stressful week, but they got it done.
Yep, so they beat the Padres 3 out of 4 against the Padres.
6 of their 7 games this week, 1-run games.
Yeah, they can win the close one, baby. That's what we're good at. Damn, I got a text.
You got 2 texts.
Ooh. Yeah, that's an important text, dude. We're gonna have to keep that off the pod. But after this pod, we're gonna have to do a secret pod.
It's Manfred.
Did we do a bonus episode where I just read every single one of my texts since like 2020?
I think that would be amazing.
Patreon episode.
Probably.
Just get into the deeps. Just be open and honest with every single private message I've ever sent since the start of the channel. But the Braves, my favorite team. I mean, you went to Baltimore to see them live, Mitch.
I went to Baltimore to see them live. It was
And guess who we fucking bumped into? Dude?
Oh yes, the return of Unc Zuna took the trip. I'm pissed he didn't hit me up, man.
Zoom in. I want to see the joy in your face. Look at that.
Who's
Did
happy
he
to
hit you
see
with the
who?
rounds with Mitch?
I'm happy you guys buried the hatchet because Unc did send shots at you.
He did.
unwarranted, by the way. I was not invited to the trip, and then I got strays.
Well, listen.
I feel like that was left out, but
didn't
now
want
we've
to
mended it.
was afraid to go down south, Mitchell, but he will see the Braves in Baltimore, which is, I mean, I guess
I haven't actually seen a Braves game at home since Chipper Jones was on the team.
that's prayers, bro. But you saw him in Baltimore, and they had a great series. Great series, close series. Game 1, there was a lot of great defensive plays. Then game 2, they fucking blew it on the defense. Or no, yeah, that was like game 1. The Braves had like 7 diving plays, and they won by 1 game, won it by the defense. And then Jarvis fucked up the pop flies, and then Ozzie makes the misplay in the extra innings that blew the game yesterday, and then unblew the game with a diving play, and the Braves ended up winning in extras. And then you also had the play with fucking, who's the white boy? Jackson Holiday makes an error, saves the Braves. But 2 out of 3. 2 series wins.
I feel like this weekend especially was a series where the Braves could have easily been swept. I don't think they deserved to win on Friday. And Sunday was a very frustrating game from a Braves fan's perspective. And they blew the game. They had the Orioles had the bases loaded in the 10th inning with no out.
Oh, we got a little lucky on that.
And they got very lucky. Matt Olson snagged a liner, touched their first base maybe a millisecond before Pete Alonso's hand got there.
That's just good defense.
Good defense.
Right place, right time. That's called defensive positioning.
The Braves winning, 5 one-run games this week was big because they've struggled in one-run games for the past couple of years. And they get Acuna back today.
Yes, Acuna is coming back despite limping.
We're just going to ignore that.
He's not going to be running. But he was in this AAA lineup is hilarious. So the Braves AAA lineup this week was Ronald Acuna Jr., Ha-Seong Kim, Carlos Santana is on the Braves. Missed that shit. Brett Wisely, Patrick Closey, Andrew McCutchen, Jose Alcazar, Sandy Leon down there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 9 players with like a lot of big league time.
Everyone but Closey in the starting lineup had major league experience. Schnook had the fewest MLB games played, and he still has 55 career MLB games. The Stripers had more combined MLB games and combined WAR on Wednesday night.
How did they do?
Than the Braves did.
What's their record this week with this lineup?
So the first night they run it out, they lose.
Damn.
So they had multiple MVPs, multiple All-Stars, multiple Silver Sluggers, and they did not win their first game. But they did win on Tuesday, and I believe they won on Wednesday.
Unc should have went to this game.
Hell of a game to go to.
For real. This is a team full of Uncs. 11 combined All-Star appearances, 2 combined MVPs, 3 combined Gold Gloves, 8 combined Silver Sluggers, 741 combined MLB games, and this is a AAA lineup there. Braves got a deep farm system. That's all that shows me. We got Andrew McCutchen, former MVP, in the works. That's our top prospect right now.
Got a Gold Glover at first base, Carlos Santana.
Love it.
Is this like an IL lineup? Like why
It's a combination. So Acuna and Ha-Seong Kim, and then later in the week, Sean Murphy was on this too. They were all on rehab assignments for injuries, but then Santana, McCutchen, and everyone else on the team are guys just trying to get back to MLB. So McCutchen and Santana played for the Rangers and the Diamondbacks this year, and then they got released. So this is their last chance to make the majors.
They're trying to get one last ride, one last job before they ride into the sunset. They want to go to Atlanta, get a World Series, contribute,
Is this one of the more stacked starting lineups in a minor league team?
I don't think I've ever seen a minor league starting lineup this stacked.
Well, do you want me to read the stats, Jack, you piece of shit?
I think he needs to hear it again.
11 combined All-Stars, 2 combined MVPs, 3 combined Gold Gloves, 8 combined Silver Sluggers, 741 combined MLB games. You said, is this
7,000.
Is this a stacked AAA minor league lineup, or are they all like this?
The Braves.
Is that what I said, or I think it said is the most stacked you've ever seen.
Oh,
So Jack, the Braves
no, I've seen better.
have the active leader in consecutive games played on the Major League roster right now. Matt Olson has played more consecutive games than anyone else in MLB, and he is on the Braves roster. But the Stripers still had more combined games than the Braves did in their lineup. That's how many games these guys have played in the bigs.
America's team? The Stripers did?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool logo and it's a cool name for a fish.
Although it does autocorrect sometimes
To the strippers.
to the Strippers.
Yikes. Speaking of prostitution, the New York Mets have prostituted themselves.
They are asking anyone who's interested.
In a way. New York Mets lose a series to the Brewers, lose a series to the Dodgers. They filmed the movie at the stadium, which was amazing. What's the actress's name?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Chris Pine in Citi Field filming a blockbuster hit. Soto was filming a cameo, was dancing, and strained a calf, allegedly, according to someone on Twitter, which is
The
not
most
confirmed.
reputable sources.
Frank the Tank also agreed that's what happened. That Soto got injured because he was in the movie doing a dance scene, and that's the real reason he's injured. They don't want to admit it, but
Is there footage of the injury?
there is not. They're hiding in this. This is all hide. They're
Are
hiding.
you sure it's not part of the movie?
Imagine that they signed the contract. We're gonna put him on the IL. This would be great promotion.
Great for the plot.
We're gonna pretend to get the richest. This guy's getting paid $3 million per inning. We're gonna fucking fuck it. You're going on the IL.
I was thinking that maybe somebody saw him, like, heard himself dancing, and that was it. I didn't realize he was like already on the IL.
Well, he's out for 8 weeks. It's not confirmed whether it was on the movie set or not. Some people say it was. Some people say it won't. But Frank Tank says it was. So I believe Frank the Tank. It was the movie show.
He totally wouldn't believe anything negative about his team.
The funniest thing with the Mets, though, they do win one game against the Dodgers on a walk-off. Then they give the guy or I don't even know, was it a walk-off? Hits a big 3-run. He's doing a post-game interview. They're celebrating their boy, and they dump water on him, except they completely miss, and they miss the water.
And Soto's here after he goes on the IL with a calf injury. I don't
Yeah.
think he should be handling this.
No, he's being a good teammate, or at least pretending.
Fucking lid didn't even open.
Yeah.
If anything, I think it closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was open, and then it closes.
Well, the Mets aren't really used to winning. They're not used to walk-offs. They're not used to dumping people with water. So, first time for everything. And the Mets, they struggle. They will be trading some pieces, hopefully. Luis Robert could be gone. Peralta could be gone. Maybe Lindor. Maybe Lindor's gone. But in other news, the Dodgers beat the Mets, and they also played the Phillies this week, which was a pretty fucking batshit crazy series. A lot of this is the dumbest series of the week. So the Mets and Dodgers, the Phillies and Dodgers, two great teams, played a sloppy ass series. Trey Turner specifically. Trey Turner got a ground ball in the first inning, made an error. Next inning, hits a home run, so he redeems himself. Fourth inning, gets another ground ball, can't field it. 2 innings later, gets another ground ball, another error. That same inning, another home run. Redeems himself again. In the 9th, gets another ball hit to him, misses that one. So Trey Turner, 2.5 errors and 2 home runs, makes up with his bat. But fuck, man, tough fielding day for Turner and tough fielding year for Turner. This is very weird. He leads the league with 18 errors, has a negative 13 defensive runs saved, worst in MLB. Negative 2.5 defensive WAR. He's never had a negative defensive WAR in his career, and he's got a negative 2.5 this year. So I don't know what's going on with Trey Turner.
Turner's never been like an elite defender, though. By outs above average, he's been like more or less right on the cusp. He had a really good 2018, and then he had a really, really good 2025, but he's mostly been hovering between like 2 outs above average, and he has had a season as bad as -6. So he's never been great, but this is definitely by far his worst defensive season of his career.
So sloppy play for the Phillies. Next day got even sloppier. So bottom of the ninth, Phillies are down by 1. They have the tying and winning run in scoring position. Just 1 out. Brandon Marsh gets jammed on this play to third. So he gets in a rundown with Mr. Crawford over here. Goes back. He's stalling. He's trying to get JT Realmuto to third. They get him here. And for no fucking reason at all, JT Realmuto just runs back to second. For no reason. There was no reason to do that. He was at third, was going to be safe. I guess he thought that Crawford was going to be safe at third, and then so he had a chance to be safe at second. Runs the Phillies out of a win. This is when they had the winning run at second base, and they lose on that play. Then the next day, Dalton Rushing catches a pop-up bunt, tells Bryson Stott to get the fuck back. Another good Dalton Rushing clip. What a hard-nosed player. Love it. Bryson Stott doesn't listen. Literally, the next at-bat, he gets caught at third base in another base running play, and the Dodgers announcers roasted him for this. So sloppy play by the Phillies. Mookie Betts gets hit in the helmet with a foul ball, too. This was kind of scary. But Mookie Betts is okay. But you got to keep your head on your swivel, Mook. And the Dodgers win 2 out of 3. Then after they win that, Alex Call jumps out of the dugout, kicks Shohei in the arm. And this is one of those things where you're like, oh, fuck, did I just ruin the sport of baseball?
Right elbow, too.
Because I really didn't mean to ruin the sport of baseball, but I think I might have just
I have a theory.
The most valuable man on earth. What's the theory?
I think he hit him in the funny bone. I think that's what Shohei's reaction is.
Well, it didn't look that funny to me. The question was that really Shohei Ohtani, or was that an imposter Shohei Ohtani?
What?
Hold on, let me pull up
I'm queuing up Mitch to play the audio, but you know what? He fucking fumbled the ball anyway. So
I didn't. He had the camera on.
Oh, so it's Jack's fault.
America recording from February 2022.
Who am I speaking with?
Shohei Ohtani.
Thank you. How may I help you?
So I tried to log into online banking, and it tells me that it's not available to me at this time, and I need to call.
I mean, that sounds like Shohei to me.
Seymour.
Sounds like Shohei to me. Either way, Alex Call hits Shohei in the arm. I think Shohei is okay. It's not going to be a big deal. However,
but also he's not okay.
He's not okay because his pen session scheduled for today, this was the 25th, so this is 2 days ago, was postponed as he didn't feel great in his last one. Dave Roberts says that he still believes Ohtani will pitch again this season, but the delay is a bummer. So Shohei Ohtani, another delay in the pitching comeback, which I'm not surprised at all. Like I said, I don't really expect him to be back pitching until September because that makes the most sense. But yeah, it is disappointing. Maybe it is time to get a little concerned.
He also had a really bad week at the plate. He had 4 hits this week and 25 at bats. That's a 160 batting average, 240 slugging. So he can't pitch right now, and maybe that knee injury is affecting him at the plate finally.
Well, maybe it's time for the Dodgers to make a move. Let's trade Shohei.
Ohtani for Scooble.
Fuck it. Let's trade Shohei. He's hurt. He's damaged goods. We already got 2 World Series with him. You got to sell high. But the Dodgers do win 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, then win 2 out of 3 against the Mets. They go on the East Coast. They meet the president, and they win 2 out of 3. 2 times. 4 out of 6. You got to tip your cap to the best team in baseball. The Padres, they're on their tail. Only 13 and a half games back for the Padres. Unfortunately, they had to play the Bravos and lost 3 out of 4 against the Bravos. My bad. And then sweep the Marlins, though. So they keep the Marlins depressed. I saw the craziest stat during this series. So the Marlins, who Otto Lopez is responsible for 15% of the Marlins hit this year. So that's insane, right? One player, 15% of your hits. But Fernando Tatis Jr., who we've already established is not having a good year at the plate, accounts for 14% of the Padres' hits. So despite not even hitting good, he's basically by himself 14% of their offense. Maybe offense in quotations. I mean, his hit, the amount of hits at least. Just goes to show how freaking bad the Padres have been this season. In everything.
But Since they did sweep the Marlins, we do have to say a good thing about them. Manny Machado had a very good week. He had 4 home runs this week.
Oh.
His batting average is finally over 200. He has a 734 OPS now. Killed the Braves. Even though the Braves won the series, every time Manny Machado was up, it was scary. So maybe he's turning the corner.
Yes, and I do have to apologize to them because they aren't bad at everything. They still have a good bullpen. The question is for them is if they're going to trade anybody. They got some guys, potential guys to trade. There are some rumors around Michael King, their best starting pitcher, and Mason Miller, their best relief pitcher. However, I mean, they're 500 right now. At the moment, they are 2 games back of a wild card spot. I mean, they're behind 3 teams, but however, they don't need to trade anybody. They're still in the race if they could turn this bitch around. The Giants, however, do need to trade somebody because the Giants came into the week terrible, and they got worse. They got swept by the Royals at their place, which sucks. And then they do win 2 out of 3 against the Angels, but it is the Angels, so I don't even count it. Not good. Not good. And I don't even think they deserve me to go in depth on them because I think that the Giants, the biggest question for the Giants right now is if you're going to freaking trade. Who are you going to trade and who are you going to get back for them?
So you're boycotting the Giants until they make that trade?
Yeah, I'm boycotting them. Until they make a trade, the Giants, you guys aren't relevant to me. What you do on the field at the moment is not necessarily on my list of priorities. It's what you're doing off the field. Now, I'm interested in that. We will see. The Diamondbacks. So they beat the Athletics. Like to see it. And then what do? They split a series?
So they have to go to St. Louis on Thursday to play a makeup game. And they won that. Brandon Pfaadt has been really good since he came back from the minor leagues. Has a 2.49 ERA. And then they had to go. So they went from Arizona. They had a layover in St. Louis. And then they came here to D.C. And then they lost that series.
So you're talking travel. They got travel issues.
They had to travel a lot. I mean, most teams, they don't have to take a 1-day layover in St. Louis, the other Missouri city.
Damn. Sounds like some of the guys might need a day off. Ketel Marte. Well, we got to be honest with you, right? I mean, the Diamondbacks have played better baseball of late. 10 of their last 14 games have resulted in wins, including a 4-game sweep of the Dodgers. 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. That's dating back to before the All-Star break. They do lose the last 2 in Washington.
It is kind of unfortunate that they lost both games to the Nationals because the Phillies lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. The Diamondbacks are only 2 games back from the Phillies for that second wild card spot. So it was a decent chance to kind of both separate themselves from the Nationals, who are just 1 game back from them now, and maybe even slide into that second wild card spot, overtake the Phillies, but they lose both weekend games against Washington.
Sucks to suck, but they are currently in a playoff spot. You got to love that. And if Michael Soroka's strained glute can get back working well, we can actually start getting some better pitching going around. That's what you need. I guess the pitching hasn't been great at all this year, actually. 20th in starters ERA, 17th in relief pitching ERA, 13th in runs. So really nothing has gone right for them under the hood. But over the hood, they're a playoff team. Maybe if Ketel Marte refollows the squad, that could be good momentum. Buried the hatchet. Or he could get some more rest days. You never know. And then you got the Rockies. Now, the Rockies are an interesting squad because they play in Colorado, the Mile High City, Denver, right? Coors Field, some of the cheapest beers in the world, some of the best beers, some of the banquet beers, right? Blue Moon is brewed in Colorado. Where do the Rockies play?
Denver, Colorado.
Colorado. What color are they?
What color are the Rockies? Predominantly white.
The mountains are white. I mean, the team is purple. The mountains are, but when it's cold, the mountains are blue. But you're going to say white?
I don't really, where are we headed?
I really wasn't sure who he was talking about when he was saying the Rockies are white. And I didn't know if he meant the literal Rockies or the players.
I wouldn't say the literal Rockies are white, especially not in the summer. Either way, that sounds like a guy who's never been to Colorado before. I asked the wrong guy. It's my fault.
I have been to Colorado.
Oh, shit. I wasn't familiar with your game. But I say all that to say what I just said right there was probably more interesting than the Rockies as a team right now because, they suck ass. They lost to the Nationals. They did get a guy off the mound. That was a good momentum shift. That it was the one game they won, and they beat the Brewers. So if you beat the Brewers, you have the second best record in the NL right now. Did they surpass the Dodgers? I know they did for a second.
They did, and then they didn't.
They did, and then they didn't, and that's life.
I think the craziest thing about the Rockies is there are 18 pitchers in MLB right now with 10 wins. One of them is a reliever, Aaron Ashby. The rest of them are starters, and you'd think like Christopher Sanchez, Sonny Gray, Foster Griffin, Chase Burns, Chris Sale. Those guys have all had great years. Jacob Mizorowski, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Zach Wheeler, Nick Martinez, great years. Tomoyuki Sugano has 10 wins this year.
10 wins while pitching in Coors, 4.69 ERA. Still has 10 wins. I was looking at his splits. He's actually pitching better in Coors than he is on the road, which is, you don't see that every day.
He bet on himself to pitch well at Coors, and then he didn't, right?
Well, he's not pitching great, no. No,
his whole thing was he wanted to prove that he could pitch at Coors, and I guess he's
pitching good in Coors.
done that, right?
Yeah, he's done a good job. Maybe someone will trade for him. They're trying to trade all these pitchers. Unfortunately, none of them have good stats. Tomoyuki's got the best, but it's a 4.69 ERA. It's unfortunate. Senzantella, I didn't even know that he's a fucking bullpen pitcher now.
He had a really good start to the year, but then over the last, I want to say month, he went from having an ERA under 2.
There's like no bullpen arms that I've heard about anywhere. Like, who are the bullpen arms who are available right now?
In general, not like with the Rockies? Yeah, I have no idea.
That silence really speaks loud, Brad. There's really no guy.
I mean, do you not want to acquire Jimmy Herget from the Rockies?
I did see Jimmy Herget pitch the other day. He's always sticking around always with his big-ass fucking stirrups. Long-ass legs with big-ass stirrups.
And a weird pitching motion.
Goofy-ass guy. I mean, Mason Miller, there's been rumors about him. I don't think the Padres are going to do that. Louis Varland, I mean, if Toronto want to flip a guy, that could be a guy.
Varland's got too many years of team control left, though. Like, I don't think... The Twins, I can't believe they traded him last year. But, yeah, Varland's not a free agent until 2031.
Damn. Imagine if the Twins...
traded for him back?
Still had him. Maybe the Padres should trade Mason Miller. I mean, that's their one thing they got too much of is bullpen arms. Can you ever have too much, though? That's a good question. But other than that, bro, I really can't think of anyone. A good bullpen arm on a team that's playing like shit. I just don't see it. I'm looking at like the leaderboards in WAR, and like none of these players are really on a team. Huascar Brazoban from the Mets. Maybe Jeff Hoffman leaves Toronto. Bradley Rodriguez.
Luke Weaver, AJ Minter, I guess those are guys.
Yep. It's a dime a dozen these days. All right. But before we get to the next topic, let's do a quick word from our sponsor, guys. This one is brought to you by Ultra Pouches. Ultra Pouches, everybody. It is a nicotine-free pouch. 0 nicotine, 0 caffeine. They're good for your brain, man. You're going to want to put this shit. You ever woken up and immediately needed a nicotine pouch or a cup of coffee just to feel like a human?
Yup.
Yeah. We can relate to that. How many pouches, cups of coffee, or any drinks do you need per day to stop yourself from crashing or even from feeling a nicotine withdrawal? If that answer is more than one, maybe consider Ultra. These things cause anxiety and make you feel on edge. A lot of times nicotine causes anxiety, guys. Sorry, look at the research. Would you catch your heart racing out of nowhere? Is your sleep score worse? Are you worried about a vasoconstriction? Now I am. God. Oh my gosh. Well, Ultra Pouches. Now they're here to save you. I just tried some of these Ultra pouches. They're great. They sent me a lot of good flavors. And boy, do they have a lot of good flavors with a lot of great ingredients. Infinity PX, a cleaner, smoother energy boost than caffeine. L-theanine, an amino acid promoting calm energy and attentiveness. Alpha GPC is a nootropic for enhanced mental processing, and vitamin B6 and B12. So there's vitamins in this stuff. They are clinically proven nootropics and adaptogens, if I can't pronounce it, you know it's good, that deliver immediate focus and smooth energy that lasts 1 to 2 hours. So this shit gets you locked in. No caffeine, no nicotine, no crash. It really is just a brain boost, and it will give you some oral fixation, pause, if you like that kind of stuff. If you're fasting or on a diet, Ultra pouches actually help quiet cravings and suppress appetite, keeping you locked in to achieve your goal. I've been seeing these fuckers everywhere, online and stuff, and on my kitchen table.
I use them before stand-up, and I like legitimately feel the difference, I think.
You feel more locked in?
Yeah, it's like hard to explain because it doesn't feel like caffeine or nicotine. So it's like you're not like hyped up, but you are like a little sharper.
It gives you a little bit of like a mental, like a clarity.
Yeah.
Like a little, it's like
you took a cat nap.
So I recommend them, motherfuckers. Keep this in the office right by the computer every day. Pop one in and lock your ass in. 90% of users saw significant improvements in their overall focus levels. Calm, steady flow state focus, enhanced memory, smooth energy, smooth balance, all with 0 nicotine and 0 caffeine. Also, they taste freaking great, bro. Cool mint.
Did they send you the sleep ones?
Crisp and refreshing. I did not get the sleep ones.
I got to try the sleep ones.
Wintergreen, icy and fresh, tropical, juicy and vibrant watermelon, sweet and punchy, and blue raz, if you like some sweet and tart stuff. So they got a ton of great flavors. They got something for everyone. It's trusted by top athletes, entrepreneurs, and engineers around the world. So Ultra is the ultimate guilt-free pouch, delivering instant focus and mental clarity without nicotine or caffeine. New customers can use code PDE to get 15% off at takeultra.com. That is takeultra.com for 15% off with code PDE. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. Thank you to Ultra Pouches for sponsoring the show. All right, back to ball. Esmerlyn Valdez. Esmerlyn. How do you say it?
Esmerlyn Valdez.
Esmerlyn Valdez. This motherfucker on the Pirates hasn't been getting a lot of love, but has taken the league by storm. Jack, don't go anywhere because we have to show this clip.
Yeah, I just saw.
He's been an offensive presence. Also in the field this week. Let's play this clip. This is a funny clip. Trent Grisham hits one to right field. Mr. Valdez goes up to get one, jumps over, puts his life on the line, loses his glove. Can't find his glove. Where's the glove? Guy's got the glove. He's trying to find the glove too. Where the fuck? Dumb bitch. It's the player's glove. Lost his fucking glove in the crowd. Imagine just catching a player's glove. I can imagine catching a ball.
I want to see this.
I love how the lady just takes it and flips it over.
Dumbass. He just throws it. I love a no nonsense person in the crowd like that woman.
Well, you know how they act sometimes.
What?
How? Expand.
You say
You mean baseball fans?
No nonsense. Yeah, no nonsense baseball fans. It wasn't that what you were saying?
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Speaking of women, you fucking pissed me off the other week talking about. I remember when I said like, I hate to bring up old shit. Remember when I said, "Oh, Twitter's for guys," and you're like, "I don't know about that. I think you just don't hang around chicks, bro."
Yeah,
bitch. I looked it up. It's like 63% guys on Twitter. It's like insane.
On Twitter,
it is like the most lopsided guys website around. Maybe there's some other websites more lopsided, but social media sites, 63% guys on X.
I do find that shocking. But I'm by like.
But I mean,
because you don't already been hanging around chicks, dog. Because you don't know chicks.
I do think people struggle to understand scale sometimes. 37% is still a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
I'm
So
playing
you are
I'm playing
Jack- so
both
I'm-
sides. I'm
so
playing
I'm
both
wrong.
sides here, but like 37% of like 120 million people is
I mean,
a lot of
I
people.
wasn't under the impression that it was a majority thing. I imagined it would reflect the population.
Like our listenership viewership is like 94% to 6%.
So we're a guys podcast.
We're a guys
We're a
podcast.
guys pod, but we got a lot of female listeners. They love to chime in and they support you, actually.
I know, and I support them as well. They need to get on X, get those numbers back up.
I'm also like a non-Twitter guy, and then every woman in my life is a Twitter person, so that's where I'm getting that.
I
idea
do
from.
think
You're,
you're the
you're hanging
exception.
around manly women, man.
It's very manly of her, yeah.
It's awesome. Speaking of manly, never mind. Esmerlyn, kind of a girl name. Okay, so Esmerlyn Valdez, homered on Monday, became the fourth player in MLB history to hit at least 13 home runs in his first 32 games. Was not even a top 100 prospect. Was the Pirates' 9th best prospect. As of Wednesday, he had hit more home runs in the last 2 weeks than the entire White Sox team had. He hit 7 home runs in 8 days and is just one of fucking 7 players in MLB history with 14 home runs in their first 37 career games. So the Pirates, since he's been called up, have the most runs in baseball. Unfortunately, this week they lose 2 series and also 2-3 to the Cubs, which is a division rival. Also, Paul Skeens allows 5 earned runs against the Cubs. Paul Skeens, man, ERA is up to a 3.65, which we didn't think was possible after the lights out shit he was putting up for the first 2 seasons of his career. But yeah, rough. 5 earned runs against the Cubbies. His last month, or since July, 5.53 ERA. Since June, 4.55 ERA. So not going to win Cy Young this year, dude. And he's probably cooked, right, Mitchell? Or you're just eating, you don't even give a fuck about Paul Skeens' stats? Mouthful of fucking pepperoni like a
what?
You know. You're eating like an Italian guy.
Mitchell Bobby. It sounded like it wasn't Italian.
Yeah, anyway, Paul Skeens is cooked, according to Mitchell. I don't think he's cooked, but, tough start against the Cubs. For the Pirates, who, shout out to Mr. Valdez, saving the offense. But golly, maybe their offense isn't good. It's just that one guy who wasn't even a top 100 prospect and is going off. 2 games above 500 for the Pirates.
And he homered yesterday, too. So even after the stats that you mentioned were before his homer yesterday. So he's continued to stay hot.
All right, 1 wild card game spot behind. 1 game back of a wild card spot for the Pirates, despite the bad pitching from Paul Skeens.
Oh, and the worst throw of the year. Candidate for worst throw of the year? Paul Goldschmidt hits a grounder up the middle. Third baseman can't handle it. Brian Reynolds comes in and just absolutely throws a cannon. Straight into the ground. Let's Ben Rice score.
You gonna play it?
Is it not?
I can't tell when you're playing it.
We got 2 people. He's describing the scene. What do you think he's doing? That's Ben Rice.
Rice can hang on at third, and Goldschmidt is into second.
Yikes! Yeah, that's not really, you practice for a long time to avoid that. He could not avoid that.
Rice can hang on at.
So the Pirates right now, 12.5 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers. Still America's team, potentially, if they get hot. 2 games above 500, 1 game behind a wild card spot. However, the Brewers have mogged them all season, and Mizorowski has mogged Paul Skeens. No longer is Paul Skeens the best pitcher in the NL Central. Mizorowski has taken that crown. This guy had the start of the fucking century. This guy, so strikes out the first batter with 103 right down the middle. Strikes out the second batter with 103 again. Strikes out the third batter with 104. Gets the next batter with a 91-mile-per-hour curveball. Shit was nasty. Throws the fifth batter 4 straight fastball. Strikes him out with 104. Then strikes out the next guy with 104 again. Strikes out the next guy with 103. Mizorowski struck out the first 7 batters of the game in a row. 6 of them were with fastballs all over 103 miles per hour. Ends up striking out 12 of the first 14 batters. This guy threw 4 innings. 11 Ks through 4 innings without giving up a single hit. According to Codify, no pitcher in MLB history had thrown 14 pitchers at 103 miles per hour or faster in a single MLB game. Mizorowski threw 30 in 4 innings, threw 66 fastballs. Every single one of them was 100 miles per hour or faster. His average was 102.8 miles per hour. His average fastball is basically 103 miles per hour. He goes just 5 innings because they limited him to 83 pitches. They got him on a little bit of a pitch count scenario, but strikes out 12, allows just 1 run on a solo home run, which was an insane home run.
It was like 102 off the plate.
Cole Carrig, right? Rockies batter. Someone needs to trade for that guy. Yeah, it takes 102 miles per hour or 103, whatever the fuck it was outside the zone, hits to the opposite field, bombs away. Gotta respect it. So he does allow 1 run, allows 1 run in 5 innings, and his ERA goes up. Let that sink in. His ERA goes from 1.57 to 1.58, which leads the league. Also leads the league in complete games, shutouts, strikeouts, FIP, WHIP, hits per 9, strikeouts to walk ratio, and strikeouts per 9. 13.9 strikeouts per 9 for Mizorowski, who, if the season ends today, Junior, you'd give him the Cy Young. Without a doubt. I do love Paul Mizorowski.
I don't think it's close either.
Ooh. The only thing you can argue is that he's not getting the same amount of innings as Christopher Sanchez.
But Sanchez, his ERA has gone up to 2.73.
True, but hey, maybe Chris Sale enters the chat.
Chris Sale also not pitching the innings.
Okay, well, he got screwed, though. Because Dubas made an error or something happened in the last start. I forgot. He gave up earned runs that really shouldn't have been earned runs, but we've moved on. Either way, the Brew Crew. Great fucking week for them. 3 out of 4 against the Mets, and then they win 2 out of 3 against the Rockies, man. They're just freaking cruising away to an NL Central championship with the best pitcher we've ever freaking seen. Gooey. 7 games above the Cubs right now. How did that happen? And I feel like the Cubs have been playing good ball, no?
One of their broadcasters tweeted that the Cubs have only gained like 1 game on the Brewers this month, despite being like 7 or 8 games above 500.
Makes you wonder. Cardinals have fallen down. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Angels. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Reds. It might be time for them to start thinking about a punt situation. 10 games back from the 10.5 games back from the Brewers. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time all year, I guess, you're thinking, man, I don't know. Cardinals really could be in trouble right now. I guess I would guess their playoff odds aren't great. I don't think they were great even when they were like close to a playoff spot or in a playoff spot. They dropped to 17.6%. In the middle of June, they're up to 55.6%. But the Tarps momentum has worn off a bit. And they're not playing as well.
I think it's kind of been the entire month. They did get to face the Braves, and that kind of, the Braves in a slump kind of helped them out. They won both series against Atlanta. They won a series against the Cubs. They lost 4 out of 5 earlier this month against the Brewers. Lost a series to the Diamondbacks. Lost a series to the Angels. So it's not been a great month for St. Louis.
And then they're going to trade Lars Nootbaar.
I feel like they've always been trying to trade Lars Nootbaar, and then
trade him.
They traded Tommy Edman instead.
Trade him, bro. See what happens. He'll make you pay. Trade him to the Dodgers, bro. Get some even more Japanese fans on the Dodgers. Lars Nootbaar, center field for the Dodgers. Move over.
Do you think Lars Nootbaar getting traded to the Dodgers would change any Japanese fandom?
There'd probably be a couple holdouts.
Do you think there's like 10 Japanese fans who are diehard Cardinals fans because of Nootbaar, and then they go, I guess now we're going to have to jump onto the Dodger fan base.
Oh, yeah, man. Listen. If you want to win the heart of Japan, you got to win the heart of Lars Nootbaar. And he's a Samurai Japan legend. But going on to the Cubs. Cubs go 500 this week. They lose the series to the Tigers, then beat the Pirates, a more important series to the Pirates. Almost sweep them. 1 run away from a sweep as Pete Crow Armstrong continues to bop, bro. He has surpassed Shohei, and according to some more, he has surpassed him comfortably. His hitting numbers now have surpassed Shohei's.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Pete Crow Armstrong leads the league in WAR with 7.1. I don't know what Shohei's at because it's hard to look that up because you have to combine the hitting, but I believe it's like almost a full win above replacement. Is the season ended today? I still think Shohei would get the MVP award, but it would be close.
So PCA right now has 7 WAR, which is an insane number to have before August. It's a career high season for most players. Ohtani right now is at 5.7 F4 combined between hitting and pitching.
Yeah, so he leads Shohei in like all the offensive categories right now, other than like I think home runs, maybe not even.
Ohtani has 22 homers.
So PCA
has
is
23.
So PCA, bro, I mean, he's making a run at the MVP. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. Shohei's probably feeling the pressure. PCA on his tail. But do they get him with the do you see Livy Dunn called him a great guy?
I saw someone ask Livy Dunn, who are your favorite players?
Yeah, my boy Eric from Bat Boys.
And she goes, Connor Griffin, and it's like, okay, that's a bit of a cop-out because of Pirates. And then she goes PCA.
The rival, interdivision rival, because he's a great guy. Even though he said that word to the fan. Well, that's good. That's a good redemption tour for PCA, who's hitting the shit out of the ball. Well freaking done, PCA. And then we got this drama over there in New York City. We got a little bit of a rules violation with José Caballero. So on Monday, Caballero gets in the box. Dennis Santana comes set. The umpire calls a pitch clock violation on him. He then gets Caballero to ground out and apparently blows a kiss at him. Caballero confronts him. Santana loses his cool, has to be constrained, tries to get free to fight Caballero. So a whole fight goes down, breaks down in Pittsburgh or in New York. And this is all because of Caballero is just a thorn in the side, bro. This guy, this has caused a little bit of a rule change. All because of this move. And according to MLB, this is banned now. This thing that Caballero has been doing for years. This has cemented him as the most annoying player in baseball, which is a good thing. If you know Caballero, this is what he prides himself in doing. His own manager called him an instigator. He's known for doing a bunch of Woody the Woodpecker stuff. That's according to Aaron Boone. Woody the Woodpecker. I don't know. I'm not familiar with his game, but it sounds like an annoying person or bird. I mean, because woodpeckers always just picking away, and Caballero is just picking away. His other teammate, Will Warren, called him a pest. That's even worse than a bird. You're a pest. He's picking at you all day. Caballero's response to hearing that his teammate called him a pest, quote, "That makes me feel really good." Sick line. Guy doesn't give a fuck. So Caballero, he's just a grimy, gritty player who just takes pride in getting under his opponent's skin and doing everything possible to win. And he does everything possible to win since getting to the Yankees. And he's been there for less than a year. He's played shortstop, third base, second base, left field, right field, center field, DH. He's also pitched in his career. So he's played 8 out of 10 possible positions in his career. He does it all. He's led the league in steals twice. So he's a little slap hitting fastball guy, fast player who pisses people off. By the way, he leads his career in home runs this year. So actually, since getting to the Yankees, his power has arrived a little bit. I think he's got like 12 home runs on the year, but not usually 10 home runs on the year, which is his career high. So not really a power hitter, but this year he's doing better. He's mostly known for being a bitch, though. Not being a bitch, being an annoying bitch, being just being a freaking pest. Is what he is. Just ask the Rays. Back when he was on the Rays, he once blatantly got hit with a pitch on purpose. This is a funny clip. Obviously on purpose. Some reason his manager sticks up for him, but like this is the kind of stuff he does. He'll do anything to get on base. It doesn't matter. I will do anything to get on base. And he tries to get on base. Umpire calls him back. Manager freaks out on him. This type of shit he gets into. In 2024, he rattled the Blue Jays pitcher so bad, he checked him after going into third. So this caused a verbal altercation. The bench is clearing. So look at this. Tags him. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Oh! Gets shoved in the face. Get in the pitcher's head. pitcher's out of his game now. This is the kind of stuff he does. But he's most known for his pitch clock manipulation strategy, which he came up with all the way back in 2019. So back when they were trying the pitch clock in the minors, he was in the minor leagues, and he discovered this little trick that you could do. So according to the rules, a pitcher cannot come set until a batter is looking at him. Okay? This was established because of the Scherzer rule, which he did in 2023 once they implemented the pitch clock in the major leagues. In spring training that year, Scherzer was using this to quick pitch people. So basically, he would come set before a batter was in the box, and then as soon as the batter got in the box and looked at him and acknowledged him, he would just start his motion right away. Now, in the old days, if you would have done this, this would have been not that big of a deal because the batter could just call time unlimited amount of times and it would be nerfed immediately. But now with the new pitch clock rules, you only get one timeout per at bat. So Scherzer discovered this, started quick pitching people, and then MLB had to implement the Scherzer rule, which states a pitcher cannot come set until the batter is alert to the pitcher. However, this basically means that you need to be looking at the pitcher. You don't really need to be ready to hit, but you need to be at least acknowledging the pitcher's existence. It's kind of what they say is the eye contact rule. You need to look at the pitcher. However, the batter must be alert with 8 seconds left on the pitch clock in order to give pitchers enough time. Because if you started getting ready with 1 second, pitcher will only have 1 second to pitch. So the batter must be ready and alert with 8 seconds left on the pitch clock. Caballero basically discovered that you can disrupt the pitcher's timing by getting in the box and staring at the fucking ground as long as possible and not looking up until the 8-second mark, the last possible second. And if you do this enough times, not only are you delaying the pitcher who probably wants to pitch before 8 seconds, you also, a lot of times, can bait a pitcher into coming set before the 8 seconds and before you're looking at him, and you get a pitch clock violation. A great example of this, he did it against the Astros in 2025. This is a great example of this working out perfectly. So bases are loaded, 2 outs. Pitcher comes set before he's looking at him, so he gets a warning on that, right? So umpires give him a warning. Caballero knows that he's got a warning. The next time he does this, it's a violation. So pause it right here. What he just did, so that it's bases loaded, 2 outs. He worked a full count. He knows the pitcher already has 1 violation. He knows if he gets him to do another violation, he gets to go to first base and run scores. So Caballero every single time gets in the box and he looks at the ground and does not acknowledge the pitcher till 8 seconds. What he does here is he gets in the box like early with like 13 seconds. And then rewind it one more time. So then he gets in the box early, calls time on the pitcher. Calls time on the pitcher, makes him reset because he didn't get it. So now he's going to get back in the box, stares at the ground as long as possible, hoping that he's going to come set early. What does pitcher do? Loses his vibe, comes set early, automatic ball, scores a run based on just a timeout and a staring at the ground and waiting to the last possible second. So he basically has been doing this for 3 straight seasons. He famously pissed off Garrett Cole for doing this in 2023, back before he was on the Yankees. He's facing Garrett Cole, tries to call timeout right before Cole throws a pitch. That pitch pisses off Cole, gets in the box, does not look at Cole for a while, pissing off Cole more, does it again, makes Cole wait to the last, waits to get on the mound, then calls time, keeps doing it, staring at the ground, delaying Cole. Eventually, Cole gets fucking pissed and throws a 97-mile-per-hour fastball like 30 feet over his face to give a little bit of gamesmanship, saying, yeah, bitch, I'll stall your ass too. Cole's a gamer, you know. Then ends up striking him out and wags his finger at him. So this is the famous Garrett Cole finger wag, which screams at him. Really what he does is he screams at him, calls him a you-know-what, stares him down, and then wags his finger at the dugout. Wagging at the Mariners dugout. Don't try to stall me. But that did not stop Caballero. He kept doing it. 2023, facing the Astros, does the routine while he's on the Mariners. Pitcher started his windup before Caballero was looking at him. Umpire agrees, changes the call, so it didn't count as a time. Then Martin Maldonado gets in his face about it. He's pissed. He starts talking to the catcher in the middle of the at-bat. 2 get into each other's faces, and the bench is clear. So what I'm saying is there's a bunch of little it's not illegal, but it pisses people off. And there's a lot of examples of benches being cleared over his tactic, which is basically just to stare at the ground as long as fucking possible until he's required to in order to bait the pitcher. In April, he got the Red Sox with this. This is another, probably the best example of him really just torturing a pitcher. So play the Red Sox one. Jackie, you switch the camera over.
I'm waiting for a signal. We're off today somehow.
All right, go back to the start of the Red Sox one. So pitcher's looking in. He comes set. Caballero's not looking at him. So, right, that's a warning. So the pitcher gets one warning because Caballero wasn't looking at him. I don't know who this pitcher is, but he doesn't know the rules, apparently. So Caballero, what he does is, again, he gets in the box, stares at the ground as long as possible. Pitcher comes set again. Now, the umpire didn't even call it. Caballero points him, hey, he did it again. So, second time's the charm. That's an automatic ball. So he gets a pitch clock violation for that. He goes, okay, yeah, I won't do that again. What does Caballero do? Same routine, does it every time. Gets in the box, stares at the fucking ground as long as possible. This pitcher, third time in a row. So he gets back-to-back pitch clock violations. Caballero earns 2 straight balls by just staring at the ground as long as possible. It's funny how this really does piss off the Red Sox in this series. You saw early in the dugout shaking his head. I don't know if that's what he was shaking his head out, but later in that series, Caballero gets called himself for a pitch clock violation, tricks himself, and Wilson Contreras is seen trolling him, which is even funnier because Contreras is also famous for having a rule made after him for doing a similar thing, stalling tactics. But you can see, I don't know if we have the clip, but he's pointing at his watch. Hurry the fuck up, motherfucker. So Caballero has been doing this for years, and it's been legal the whole time until this season. There was an incident in Toronto. So this is when it really started. This is about a month ago. He's in Toronto. He's doing his thing, looking at the ground, staring at the ground as long as possible. Pitcher comes set. However, this time, instead of the pitcher getting a warning, Caballero gets the warning. So he's like, what the fuck? Why am I getting the warning? I do the same thing every time. I'm looking at the ground. It's my routine. I look at the ground until 8 seconds. If the pitcher comes set before I look at him, that should be a warning on him. It really should be a pitch clock violation on him because you're not allowed to frickin' do that. However, for the first time ever, the umpires called this on Caballero. They warned him. The official ruling on this play was that it was a delay of game penalty. However, you can see it right here. He calls it with 9 seconds left, so he wasn't required to look up. They called the delay on him because the pitcher came up. The pitcher was ready before Caballero was ready. Even though technically by the rules, he doesn't have to be ready by 8 seconds. So this becomes a little backlash. They go in the media. The media, Boone says that the league has told Caballero that he's within the rules by doing this. He just needs to make sure he's up looking by 8 seconds. But now you get to this week. So this is like a month later against the Pirates. He's doing the same shit again, staring at the ground until 8 seconds. Dennis Santana comes set before he's ready. And once again, the pitcher gets a warning. Caballero then grounds out and then gets the double play. And as we showed you earlier, blows a kiss at him. Caballero confronts him. Santana loses his cool, has to be constrained, tries to get free and fights each other. They don't really fight, but, it becomes a big hoopla. After the game, Dennis Santana, the pitcher, says that Caballero was waiting too much at home plate. It frustrated me. It's nothing against him. I got caught up in the game. You know what Caballero said to that? If you're frustrated, I'm winning. For me, it's a battle in the box. I'm trying to win the battle. If you're not concentrating 100%, I think I'm winning. So he won this motherfucker. Even though he ground out into a double play to end the inning, he's frustrating the pitcher, so he's fucking winning. However, MLB doesn't like this. So MLB took notice, and now they're cracking down on this shit. So apparently, I guess the brawl had sparked them to make a move on it. The very next day, Caballero sets up in the box, does the same routine, stares at the ground until 8 seconds. The pitcher comes set too early, as we see. But for the first time ever, even though the pitcher comes set too early, before he was looking, before 8 seconds, they call it on Caballero. And he loses his freaking shit. Umpire tries to explain it to him, basically saying you can't do that anymore. Caballero is adamant that he is allowed to do that he's following the rules, and that the umpire is picking at him. He kept saying that. You're picking at me. Can we play the audio of the picking at me if we can pick that up? This whole thing got caught on the hot mic. Play the audio for the people at home. It's actually insane, like they did this on purpose. He's picking on me. With the shoulder shrug. He's picking on me. And it kind of is picking on him a little bit. Because technically, according to the rule book, this should be completely legal. The umpire says after the game that he was told by MLB that Caballero is not allowed to do that anymore. He was told by the league not to warn Caballero and to call him for the violation as soon as it happened, which is what he did. So, according to this, it's over. Caballero afterwards, not happy, wipes his Instagram, makes a story, says it's very easy to just invent rules and change the most beautiful sport in the world and then not take responsibility for its flaws. They know they're wrong, but it's very hard to accept that a simple player who just wants to play the sport he's always loved can adapt and use it for his game. In the end, they're the ones who are in charge and do whatever they want, whenever and however they want, and everyone else just has to shut up and obey. So, I mean, he's got a point here. So MLB says they did not make a new rule. They cite a provision in their pace of play procedures that say, quote, conduct by batters designed to deceive a pitcher into beginning their windup or coming to a set position in violation of these regulations shall be considered circumvention. So they're saying, yes, Caballero, we get it. Technically, you're looking at the pitcher at 8 seconds every time. This is your routine. Whatever. That's by the rule. That's allowed in the rules. The fact that you're doing this for the sole reason to bait a pitcher into coming set too early to get a violation, that is the problem. Unfortunately, this has completely nerfed, and ever since then, Caballero has been looking up at like 10, 12 seconds. I've been checking him out. He's taken out of his playbook, even though he maintains that he is being picked on.
On one hand, I do think he was being picked on just a little bit. On the other, I think wiping your Instagram and posting that to your story is a little dramatic.
You're picking on me.
To have, I don't like what's going through his head to like be like I've got to wipe any evidence that I play Major League Baseball on my Instagram.
Listen, because that makes the story in more impact.
Is it like when someone has a breakup and they're so heartbroken that they have to like clear everything? Is this his like breakup with baseball?
I mean, dude, it was a yeah, imagine he retires. Pulls a Yerman Mercedes. They nerfed my whole game. I was only good because I stared at the ground until 8 seconds. I was totally getting them in their heads.
And now they're just making up rules. They're ruining baseball. I've got to go off the grid.
Time to hang him up for Caballero. Now, I do say you kind of gotta feel with the league on this one. I mean, this is my thing. The reason why the pitch clock was put into place was why?
To speed up the game.
The only reason these rules are there is to make the game go faster. So when you're using the rules for some other purpose, MLB has made it clear with the Scherzer, with the Contreras rule, and now with the Caballero rule, that is not the point of the rule. And as soon as you do that, we're going to find a way to nerf it. Now, we got away with it for 3 years, but after 3 years, no one's adapted enough, and they nerfed him. Sucks for Caballero, but it is what it is, man. You're going to have to find a new way. I don't believe he's been playing great lately.
He also got another play this weekend against the Phillies where Bryson Stott hit a liner, and he just kind of drops it.
Not on purpose,
but the umpire claims that he dropped it on purpose, and I do think the umpires are kind of just going after him here. Like, I mean, this is an impossible play to kind of
look at this.
You think they're picking on him?
I think you're picking on me.
I do think they're picking on him.
Look, can't do nothing but laugh. Okay, whatever you say. You guys make the rules, whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want.
There's just no way you can intentionally drop that.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose.
Because you can't control where the ball's going to land.
If you're nice with it. But no one's that nice with him. Would have been a great heads-up play if he did it on purpose. He didn't probably do it on purpose. And the umpires called him for it. Took away for double play from Cabby. Whatever. What does Boone call him? I don't know.
A pest? What does he call him?
Cabby.
Woody
he calls him
Woodpecker.
He calls him Cabby and a pest and he Woody the Woodpecker. But shout out to Caballero. Cabby, hard-nosed player, most annoying player in baseball, but in a good way, bro. And the Yankees, I guess I didn't copy and paste the Yankees shit in here that I was going to put in, but they do beat the Phillies 2 out of 3 against the Phillies.
2 out of 3 against the Phillies. They did lose last night, but, you go to a rival stadium and win 2 out of 3.
I guess
good weekend.
The biggest news with the Yankees this week, other than the rule drama, has got to be Max Fried returns. So Max Fried is back on the Yankees healthy. How's the Uncle Charlie looking?
Fried only pitched 5 innings. I think he was supposed to have one more rehab start, but the Yankees played the Pirates in a doubleheader, and I think the Yankees were just like, let's go ahead and activate him off the IL. 5 scoreless, 1-hit innings with 7 strikeouts and 57 pitches. So he was very efficient against the Pirates on Wednesday, and that was his first start since May 13.
Good news for the Yankees, who every time I look at their numbers, I'm like, bro, the Yankees, I still think they're the top team in the AL, despite what the Rays are doing, despite their record. The fact that they are 11th in runs without Judge, without Stanton, and now Bellinger's on the IL, but I don't think
he wasn't doing that well recently.
Yeah, but the starting pitching has been 5th in starting pitching without Fried and without Rodon for some time, and without Cole for some time. Second best relief staff in baseball by ERA. Like, I don't know if the Yankees really have a weakness, bro. And like, Ben Rice is legitimately like the best hitter in baseball. One of them. He's been shit lately too, though, right?
He's been up and down. He did have 2 homers this week, but I don't think he did anything else besides those 2 home runs. His OPS, he had a bad end of June, then he picked it back up, and then this week was inconsistent.
Listen, I've been high on the Yankees all year, bro. I really do. I really think World Series. I'm calling it today.
2024 revenge.
2024 revenge. You know what the big difference is? Also, Osho Schlittler, bro. And Schlittler had a freaking amazing start. Didn't he have 12 strikeouts, 3 hits, 0 earned runs? In Philly? 99 pitches?
In a 1-0 game.
Yeah. Like, he's a beast level shit. He's watching Jared Carrabba's clips getting psyched up before his start.
I think the Yankees and Red Sox haven't had this type of rivalry in a while. It's nice to see.
Red Sox Yankees?
I feel like it's been pretty stale for at least since Big Papi retired.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, I guess the rivalry is that he used to be a Red Sox fan. It's more like a rivalry between Schlittler
and the Red Sox fans, but
yeah.
That's still, way more than we've got in years past.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a little bit of some brawls from time to time. The fans have always hated each other. The difference was like the heyday of it, 2004. I mean, that's just
peak baseball.
That's just peak sports, bro. I don't think anyone. That's the thing people compare. Oh, the Red Sox Yankees rivalry. It's not what it used to be. It's like, bro, nothing will ever be that. That was like one of the best rivalries of all time.
When else are you gonna have the best pitcher in baseball shove a 66-year-old man down in the ground?
Yeah, he assaulted an old man. There's a 3-0 comeback. Only time that's ever happened in history. Also, like every single good player in baseball were on those 2 teams at the same time. Also, you had the 86-year drought, 82-year drought, whatever the fuck it was. 12 bench clearing brawls. A-Rod in the mix. Jeter in the mix.
The catch is from one of those Red Sox Yankees games where Jeter flies into the stands.
Yeah, remember? And then there was, I forgot what game it was, where they're like, had to get security. People were throwing shit in the fucking bullpen.
I mean, people swear the only reason Aaron Boone is the Yankees manager is because of that rivalry.
I mean, for real, yeah. For that 1 home run. So that's just a little pushback from saying it's not what it used to be. It's like, yeah, bro, no shit.
But I think, this is more action than we've had between those 2 teams and fan bases than we've had in a while.
I mean, we're talking about the Red Sox the streak is no longer the streak, but the streak was the freaking streak. They stopped this. 15 straight wins, tied a franchise record for the Red Sox. It is just the 8th time a team has won 15 or more games since 1961. They were in last place in the AL East on June 24th, 32-46, 14 games below 500. Not anymore. They have gone 20-3 since June 25th. They have lost just one series, have not lost one game in July prior to their loss to the Orioles on Wednesday. Since June 25th, the Red Sox are 8th in MLB in runs scored, 17th in home runs, and have the best ERA in baseball at 2.17. So the streak brought them from the dead. They do blow the streak against the Orioles, unfortunately, on that second day of the doubleheader. But, I mean, after that, they kept winning.
Won a series against the Blue Jays. Yeah, it was a great streak. I was starting to question if they were ever going to lose again, to be honest.
15 in a row. Mitchell, how many times has that happened since 1961?
I had it somewhere.
So going on July 1st, the Red Sox had 13.4% chance to make the playoffs. Okay, that's July 1st. What were you doing on July 1st, Jack?
I don't know.
Well, you don't remember where you were before the Red Sox got on their hot streak? Everyone remembers where they were. They won that first game after that beef against the Nationals. You know when they went to Anaheim and Contreras hit those home runs after getting suspended? And that turned everything. Everyone remembers where they were. Where were you?
I was receiving a Medal of Honor.
Oh, yeah? For what?
Saving the world.
So Jack was stealing valor on July 1st. And the Red Sox were in last place, had the worst record in the AL East, 37-48. They had 15% chance to make the playoffs. Just 3 weeks later, they have 70% odds to make the playoffs. And they're adding at the deadline, it seems. So shout out to the Boston Red Sox. And go ahead and say what you're about to say, Mitch.
No, was that your Boston accent?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. It's the Sox.
The Sox.
Yeah, that's the Sox.
I've seen Fever Pitch, kid. I know I know how they fucking talk.
Yeah, but that's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Fallon.
Is Jimmy from Boston?
Native Bostonian Jimmy Fallon. No.
Yeah, Mitchell, native, like how you
no,
know
he's
Jimmy
like
Fallon's
right.
from?
He's a New Yorker. Fallon is.
Wow,
he didn't have morals like Ben Affleck did, you know? Ben Affleck refused to wear a Yankees hat, shut down production in a movie once. Jimmy Fallon was a Red Sox fan in the whole movie.
You think you could get Ben to wear a Mets hat in a movie like Emma Stone did? Well,
that was the compromise. He shut down production over a Yankees hat, but then they were like, "Well, you're from New York, Ben. You got to wear a New York." And it took like a week to figure out the compromise was just a Mets hat.
Interesting. Seems fake. Honestly, that seems fake. I'll be honest. That seems like some Hollywood bullshit, but whatever.
So you get cast for a movie and you got to wear Mets or Phillies gear.
I would.
You doing it?
Yeah, I would do it.
Spineless.
I would do it, bro. And
people play Nazis in movies.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can't wear. Okay,
yeah, but the line is when you have to wear your rival sports teams.
Okay,
gear.
Ben Affleck. We get it. You're a real person that everyone can relate to. We get it, dude. You're not
a real Bostonian.
You're a real fan. Really relatable, Ben Affleck. Affleck. Shout out to TBS, dude. Affleck. I remember as a kid those commercials.
There are so many earworms that I'm like, how do I know that? Oh, it's because I watched the Braves on TBS as a 7-year-old.
Affleck. That's gotta be one of the soundboards.
You doing it?
No, we gotta get the real thing. No free ads though. No free ads. Does Affleck still sell insurance?
Probably.
Yeah, right.
I need to get.
I think the
that.
Ducks still.
Affleck. All right, so the Red Sox, they have moved themselves up into third place and have the second best run differential in baseball in the American League. So they were the worst team in the American League. Now they have the second best run differential in the American League, and they have the third best record in the American League, y'all. It is what it is. He slept on the Bo Sox, and now the Bo Sox are going off. Anything else to the Red Sox, Mitchell?
Nothing.
They beat the Blue Jays, who have gone down bad. Unfortunately, they are in last place. Yikes. They lose 2 more games. They lose a series to the Rays. They lose a series to the Red Sox. And Butch Scherzer comes off the IL, and he's returning to Washington tonight. Snap it up for the Blue Jays, who might be time to sell. The most alarming thing that we probably saw all week was this statistic on Twitter, which I don't know if still is the case.
It is still the case.
So Chandler Simpson, the slap hitter for the Rays, who has not hit a single home run in his MLB career, currently has a higher slugging percentage than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And how the is that possible? That doesn't make any sense. You want to break that down for me, Mitchell?
So slugging percentage.
We don't need to go that deep. we get it. It's just, I don't.
No, so Vladdy hasn't hit a home run in Canada in almost a year now. It's been since August that he's put one over the fence in Toronto. What? He has 6 homers this year, which, if you're Chandler Simpson, that would be a record, but that is well lagging behind any of his career norms. He's hitting for average. He just has no power.
He's an all-star. I guess what Chandler Simpson has going for him is he can hit triples, leads the league in triples, so that helps your slugging. And he can leg out a double. So shout out to Chandler Simpson. We got to keep tabs on his slugging ability.
We also had an old school shutout this weekend by Dylan Cease. 120 pitches.
Bro, maybe they fucking trade that guy. I mean, they just signed him to a big deal, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the years, but it's a big deal.
Damn, it sucks that his good year aligned with the Blue Jays' bad year, because next year he's going to have a bad year because he only has good years if it's an even year. The analytics point to a down year next year, but this year, holy shit. I mean, Dylan Cease leads the American League in strikeouts, leads the American League in FIP, hits per 9, shutouts. I mean, him and Schlittler, man, that could be a Cy Young race for the ages. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But yeah, they lose, and so the Orioles. So the Orioles got hot before the All-Star break. We're looking, maybe it's time to start looking at the Orioles. Now those rumors are trading their freaking franchise catcher because they lose 2 series in a row to the Red Sox and the Braves. And Lord have mercy, they have not been able to get hot this year. They are currently 2.5 games back of a wild card spot, though, because it is the American League. However, back-to-back series losses for them. Mitchell, what'd you see in Baltimore? Buddy, it's just you're not. It's fine. It's an alarm. It's not going to hurt you. Mitchell looked at you like.
I thought Jack was going to say something.
No, I'm not going to answer it. Hey guys, hold the podcast for a second.
Put him on the pod.
It's my freaking wife.
Ugh. It's not your wife yet, bro. Guys, Jack's getting married. Can we give him the date and time?
No.
Okay.
And the location. No. He's hinted to it enough on his.
You've definitely mentioned the date already, but
no, I have not.
Let's just leave. Let's just keep it.
Some things are personal. Jack is marrying a Twitter user. Pause.
So the O's.
The Orioles played a lot of close games. It was a little unfortunate that they lost both series this week. They lost, 3 one-run games?
Because they're losers.
So they lost to the Red Sox on Monday by 1 run, lost again on Wednesday by 3 runs, lost on Friday by 1, lost on Sunday by 1. They went into extra innings twice this week against the Braves. Lost both of those games, but it's one of those weeks where you could easily flip the results. Like, they could have easily gone 4-3 on the week or 5-2 on the week. It was just
we only care about dubs, though.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, if you're not dubbing, your odds are going down. And right now, the Baltimore Orioles, if you're into the percentages, It's looking low. 21.2% chance to make the playoffs. Still 2.5 games back. You have to say that every time you bring up almost any team in the league right now.
It does feel like any of the American League contenders that are not in the race are 2.5 games back.
Yep. So we're pretty for the Warriors.
Where do you think Zach Eflin's career is headed right now?
You should call him up.
Great question.
I do wish we were friends. We have like no personal connection whatsoever other than knowing each other.
Invite him to the wedding.
Yeah, it's not too late.
They're going to Detroit to try to get Skubal. Maybe they go to Detroit, sweep them, and then trade for Skubal, take Skubal home with them, then go to Philadelphia at home and show off their new piece, which is Tarek Skubal, the Oreo.
That would be such an insane trade to
You know
go
what?
all in at the Orioles.
Crazier things have happened. Honestly, I don't know if crazier things have happened, but you never know. Okay, and then the Rays, the first place Rays, who continue to just cruise, baby. The Rays had an amazing week. So the Rays, when 3 out of 4 against the Blue Jays, at their place, they have to get their passports out, go to Toronto. Thank you. Score a shit ton of runs against them. 24 runs scored against the Blue Jays. They fucked them up, man. Good for them. Only allow 8 runs all series. Nick Martinez, Drew Rasmussen, Griffin Jacks allows 1 run over 6 innings. All do their thing. And then Lugumina and Seymour. Ligma and Seymour. Seymour Butts and Ligma Balls.
They've been pairing these two back.
I mean, they're trolling.
And yeah, it does feel like a troll.
Seymour Nuts and Ligma Balls, 2 pitchers for the Rays, pitched the same game. Unfortunately, don't win on getaway day, but only allow 3 hits all day. So, you lose, but you win in the hearts and the minds of the internet memes online. Anyway, they then sweep the Guardians, so the Rays are cruising. Chandler Simpson has a great week this week, has a 190 WRC plus, puts half a WAR up on the board. Got on base 50% of the times this fucking week.
He also had a funny week on the base paths. Against the Guardians, he was able to get out of a rundown where they had him dead to rights. The Guardians try and run him back, and then somehow, miraculously, he's able to make it back to first. I think the very next batter, he tries to steal second. The ball goes into the outfield, and he gets doubled up at first.
Hey, man, you know what he's like? He's like Wile E. Coyote. He's fast. He's reckless. He causes havoc. He gets caught stealing more than any player in baseball, but he has a higher slugging percentage than Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and goddamn is Chandler Simpson just a freaking beast. I mean, he's having a great year, actually.
Yeah, his defense, which was pretty bad last year, I think he's like the best defensive left fielder in baseball by outs above average. And then he's just slightly above league average as a bat, but 1.7 WAR as a left fielder is fantastic.
You got to respect it, and you got to respect the Tampa Bay Rays. First place, and they do it. They're a shocking team. And then let's move on to the AL West. But first, before that, let's go a quick word from today's sponsor, which is Hims. Shout out to Hims. You've got weight loss goals, and it's summer, man. It's time to get ripped, baby, and healthy. It's time to actually hit those goals. Weight Loss by Hims is designed to support every step of the way. And now Hims, after access to an affordable range of FDA-approved LGP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen, you can lose weight and keep it off. Losing weight is one thing, but looking and feeling your best this summer, that's the real goal. That's why Weight Loss by Hims now offers access to FDA-approved Wegovy pill and Wegovy pen. Wegovy is designed to help you lose weight and keep it off so you can show up this summer, feeling like yourself. If weight loss has felt like a battle, this summer can be different. Skip the guesswork and try Weight Loss by Hims. Access an affordable range of FDA-approved LGP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and Wegovy pen. You've heard it here before. You heard it here first, or you heard it everywhere. This stuff is spreading like wildfire. Plus the support that actually stick with it, okay? lose up to 20% of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy, the first ever GLP-1 pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. Ew, do you hate a needle?
I can't stand needles.
Then get the Wegovy. Through HIMS, everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who will determine if your treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. It doesn't stop there. HIMS makes hitting your goals seamless by offering access 24/7 messaging with your care team and in-app lifestyle and nutrition support like receipts, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more. Even better, with a range of affordable GLP-1 options, HIMS makes it simple to find a weight loss approach that fits right into your world and your wallet. If eligible, you get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed. So, want to reach your goals and you're ready to reach your goals? Visit HIMS and HIMS.com/doesn't exist to get a personal affordable plan that gets you. That is HIMS.com/doesn't exist. HIMS.com/doesn't exist. Weight Loss by HIMS is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit HIMS.com. Thank you for sponsoring HIMS. Maybe if we get our numbers, we can start doing hers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that 5%.
We're working up. If you guys, we got to get more ladies listening to the podcast. Ladies listen to the podcast. Get up, get loud in the comments. Drop them down there.
I almost think those ladies are more likely to buy hymns for the hymn in their life. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I don't know. This isn't really necessarily a male-only product.
No, it's not, I suppose. But
contrary to the popular belief, hymns, which means guys. But him, hers, they, thems. What really is important is not, I'm talking, these are all words that describe humans on Earth. What we want to talk about is non-humans outside of Earth. And what I'm referring to is the Astros. That is the whole point of the name Astros. They're out of this Earth. They're not burdened with the human genders. So hims, hers, they, them. It's not
a rabbit hole you found yourself in.
Well, I accidentally closed the notes on my computer, so I got to open them so I know what we're talking about. But I believe we're covering the Astros right now.
We are covering.
We are, and they're an intergalactic threat to baseball.
Not really, bro. They're really not much of a threat. As you can see, once again, we've left the AL West for last because the AL West, unfortunately, is the least by far. We got it. With that being said, the Astros, who are not a great team, did sweep Jack's Marlins, embarrassing, and Yordan Alvarez homers twice again. He refuses to stop fucking hitting home runs. Hit one to planet Mars, bro. And then Jeremy Pena also hits a grand slam. So Jeremy Pena has been on fire this week. There's been rumors that teams want to trade for him. The Astros say, no way, Jose. Mr. Pena is getting hot, and we need him for a playoff push, which isn't completely out of the question. Like we've said 100 times, they are an AL team, and no AL team is out of the question. Ken Rosenthal said himself, sorry, that wasn't Rosenthal, was it? Was it Rosenthal? Called them the cockroaches of baseball. The cockroaches of baseball. Says they refuse to quit, they refuse to go away, and he doesn't suspect them to be selling in any way, even though 3 games below 500 and a run differential under 47 with a pitching staff that is been toward the shreds this year. I mean, pretty much every season probably in the history of MLB, you might be thinking it's time to sell, but they're 2 games out of first place right now. So we've said how bad the AL is, which makes a wild card spot easy to obtain, but it's just as easy to win the AL West in a wild card spot. They're 2 games behind first place in the wild card spot, are 2 games out of a wild card spot and 2 games behind first place, who right now is the Rangers, right?
The Rangers are in first place by 1.5 games with a 53-52 record.
They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it, man.
The AL West needs to kind of be banished.
They go 500 this week, so they stay right where they started. Anything stick out for you with the Rangers? They played a series against the rivals. I mean, that was a big series win. I mean, they go against. Oh, so they're playing again today.
They're playing again today. They won. It's a 4-game series against the Mariners, and they won the first 2, lost yesterday.
So they gain a game.
They did gain a game. In general, though, it's just not. I don't feel like there was a lot going on. They lost the series to the White Sox. Yeah.
Well, Kumar Rocker, 6 shutout innings. That's what they need. I mean, that's their biggest room for improvement right here is their starting pitching staff that's been so fucking bad, which they should be better than that. They got DeGrom, who's pitched well. They got Kumar Rocker, who has potential. Mackenzie Gore's been like one of the worst qualified pitchers in baseball this year.
And they traded a ton to get him.
That's tough. And Eovaldi, even though he did have a great start on Saturday.
He's been up and down.
Yeah. But they do win 2 out of 3. So there is another game, but they do win 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, who they're fending off in first place, who despite being behind them have better playoff odds. But I mean, that's the disappointing part is the Mariners are way more disappointing than the Rangers because I mean they got a way better roster.
And then the starting pitching really struggled, especially against the Rangers. Bryce Miller allowed 5 runs against the Rangers on Friday. Brian Wu, who was an all-star last year, allowed 5 runs against the Rangers. His ERA is almost a 1.5 higher than it was last year.
Well, we got to give the Rangers some respect, man. That lineup can bop. They got Burger bops. Maybe a Burger push pop for promotion this year.
Little slider push pops?
Yeah.
I threw in the old Discord, how do you feel about push pop sushi? Joey thinks they should be frozen like a popsicle. The most liked comment, that's crazy, respectfully.
Respect.
They respect you, but
so if y'all ain't in the Discord yet, you're tripping out. Get in the Discord. If you want to ask a question for next episode to be answered, you got to get in that Discord. You got to put your information in, credit card number, all that kind of stuff.
None of that's true. You just have to make a Discord account, and then you can post questions, and there's community talk, and you can even message me and Mitch, which I probably will turn off. But
dude, what do you want to talk to the fans?
Well, they can tag us in community chats. I just don't really need private DMs. I already get so many DMs from these motherfuckers. You guys are cool for that, but also some of these messages are like sup, and it's like, what do you want me to say to that?
Ask them about the wedding and how to get there. Directions.
It is somewhere in the United States. Make this a scavenger hunt.
It is.
Recommendations.
Going to Yosemite for the honeymoon.
On where?
Figure that out.
Really?
Excited about that.
Are you going to go camping?
I'm going to free solo El Capitan.
Listen, brother, that's risky.
I'm going to do it.
When is the honeymoon?
After the wedding.
Oh, really? How long?
How many days after the wedding?
Yeah.
Like 5 days, something like that.
5-day honeymoon?
Yeah.
Dude, you guys send pictures.
Yeah, I will. I thought you were about to ring me out for having to rearrange podcast schedule for my wedding.
As long as it's not in October, like Aiden's bitch ass.
Yeah, but also we can have somebody step in for me if we need to.
Yeah. We'll get a step in. Probably Wally pip your ass. You'll never see Jack again.
It'll be a good replacement. You guys will like my temporary stand-in.
I hope he doesn't corrupt the files, if you know what I mean.
No.
Anyway. The Mariners, man, disappointing. Cal Raleigh had some questionable comments this week about World Baseball Classic and whether or not that affected his play this season. Because we got to call a spade a spade. Cal Raleigh has not been good. And this is coming off one of the best seasons by a catcher, offensively in recent memory, maybe of all time. Second in MVP voting behind Judge. But this year, not so much. Cal Raleigh, as it stands today, negative .3 WAR with a 64 OPS plus. So he's slugging just 300 with a 165 batting average. Only 10 home runs on the year. He might have had that in the first week last year. He was asked if the World Baseball Classic affected him any. He got in that altercation with his teammate. He got benched. So they were wondering if that hurt his timing. He said, I don't want to make excuses, but, it didn't help. World Baseball Classic didn't help. So I mean, we're just gonna have to blame Team USA.
What do you think it is?
What I think it is he was battling the oblique. Could be some injury stuff. You don't want to admit to injuries ever, right? But yeah, maybe your timing. But baseball is very mental, very mental game. So if you have a bad streak, you lose your confidence. You have some bad days. They pile up on each other. We've seen great players go on long extended slumps. Okay, and Cal Raleigh, great player last year, but not exactly shoe in for the Hall of Fame or anything.
It is interesting. The Braves catcher Jake Baldwin had a similar injury this year where he went on the IL with an oblique injury, missed a month, and when he came back, he was bad for 3 weeks? Worst hitter in baseball for 2 or 3 weeks, and then basically he reset himself, and now he's back to being Jake Baldwin that he was before the injury. But Cal Raleigh's oblique injury happened really early in the season.
Yeah, bro. Do you see that home run he hit off Waldron?
No.
It was the one that was he hit it off a shoe top, bro.
Oh, yeah. Baldwin. Yeah. Sorry. In my head, you were talking about Raleigh again.
I said Waldron. Oh, okay. I said Baldwin versus Waldron.
Yeah.
Got you. We're all on the same.
We're
basically just glazing Greg Baldwin because he deserves it. Better catcher than basically anyone. Great. I'm happy that Shea Langoliers got hurt now because he was our old catcher.
You're happy that Shea Langoliers?
It actually is pretty insane that the Braves catchers, Shea Langoliers, I'm not happy. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding around. Okay, we don't root for injuries. Shea Langoliers, Drake Baldwin, and William Contreras, all 3 Braves catchers. This is the crop we're sprouting out. I mean, it's a catching lab over there in Atlanta. Shout out to the Braves. And shout out to the Angels, also a team that starts with the letter A. And they need to trade some guys. Will they trade some guys? Probably. Will there be anyone of note? Well, probably not. I mean, the only guy you really have note is Mike Trout, which there hasn't been much rumors going around on him lately. So I would be surprised if Mike Trout gets moved. We did get a roster move. Yoel Pozo.
Oh, big breaking news.
I thought he was on the frickin'
Cardinals?
Yeah.
They traded him recently.
So he's on the Orioles now. He gets recalled. So they got a new catch. So maybe they called up a catcher. Maybe that's because Rushman's going.
They did send down a catcher.
I know, but listen. You're being weird right now. Anyway, Angels. Give me one big takeaway from the Angels this week.
Mike Trout had a 4-for-4 game for the first time since 2021. That was good, pretty nice. There was this, I'm surprised we didn't talk about, Vaughn Grissom. He fields this ground ball, and the sun is in the fielder's eyes.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice play. Play of the year.
So Grissom realizes the best way is just to bounce past it.
So if you guys ever have played baseball and you have the sun in your eyes, it's hard to see the baseball. Vaughn Grissom knows this. He knows second baseman that has sun in his eyes. He catches the ball, instead of throwing it to him, bounce passes it. Boom, gets a double play.
That's just so whoever's throwing it to, their line of sight is down instead of up toward the sun.
That's right. And Vaughn Grissom followed me on Twitter 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
Wow.
So guess what?
Any correlation, you think?
Probably. He knows I used to play the middle infield.
You're inspiring
Some
him.
shit I would do for real, bro.
He's trying to make it onto the Maestros after his season or after his career is over.
Yep. But this is going to be a long time for that because Vaughn Grissom's going to have a long, healthy, prosperous career. I hope he gets traded to a contender. Make an impact. Maybe he goes back home to Boston. Back home to Atlanta. We need a shortstop, Mitch.
Vaughn Grissom is not.
He used to be.
He used to be. I don't think he would be much help. I feel like the Angels are going to do that weird thing where they don't trade the players that they're supposed to trade. And the one guy who leaves is Soler. And then they keep everyone else.
You just never know with the Angels. But other than that, that's all we got on the all 30. That's all 30 for you. Wrapped in a bow.
What about the A's?
Oh, we already did the A's.
Oh.
I mentioned them briefly earlier. They got their attention.
Oh, yeah, we did. You want to answer some questions from our new Discord?
Yeah, if you ask them.
Yeah, I'm going to ask them. All right. Look, Webb, do you guys keep in touch with Ungzuna? has he pivoted since Ozuna left the Braves?
Didn't miss a beat, bro.
And he's been prepping for this. He's kind of known this is where it was headed. When we were talking to him when we were in Atlanta, he was saying he's got all kinds of players he can dress up as. It's not about Ozuna. It's about Unk. You know.
It's true. It's true. Mitchell saw him in person. How did he perform?
He was taking pictures with a lot of people.
A lot of pictures.
Did he know you?
Didn't seem like it.
Did you tell him who you were?
Yeah.
And what did you say exactly?
Joey's researcher.
Damn.
Okay.
What did he say about me?
I don't know. He didn't really say much.
He's a man of few words.
He is. He said he was talking to the coaches before he was walking around the concourse.
He's not a man of few words.
No, he's actually. I was kidding. He's not. He's got something to say. Do you think the All-Star game? I should read the names. Angst says, do you think the All-Star game needs any major reworks to get people invested in it again?
No. We covered this last time. I don't know what else you would do to it.
I think there gets to a point where like, oh, you're trying to get people engaged so much it ended up being detrimental.
Like what?
Like how you could do the reshuffling. Like the NBA did the players draft each other, right? And then it continued to become less.
It's all hoopla. I don't think. But I think the MLB All-Star Game is in a good spot. I think this year there was a little bit of a lull because there wasn't a lot of master storylines. A lot of guys didn't play. I don't know how you would get people to play other than if you like put it in their contract that they have to play. But which I know they do in the NPB. So that would be my one suggestion.
Getting the real All-Stars to play is probably the biggest thing. But last season we had all kinds of great ideas that I want to, we exploding balls. We talked about putting a Panther on third base. Like we had all kinds of good ideas. I don't think any one of those would work.
Banana ball. You want a banana ball as baseball.
I do. Dremji, who wins in a fight between PDE crew and BID crew? Baseball is dead.
They got like fucking 10 people.
Okay, that's not great.
So that would hurt.
Yeah.
But Jared's on steroids, so fake show muscles. J-Hay, blogger, no muscles. Dallas, washed, cooked, used foreign substance.
Are you implying Dallas is chopped unk?
And is a drug addict. So I think me personally could probably take him down by myself.
All right, cool. I'll film it.
Now we don't have to worry about Jake.
Gingeronimo says, can we get Max Scherzer screaming at John Schneider on the wall? Not the worst idea, but...
We have to get what?
Scherzer screaming at Schneider on the wall.
From the playoffs last year, I think.
Playoffs? Yeah, we could get it, dude.
Jack Witt, what is one or two rules from other sports that you think would be fun or interesting to add to baseball?
Was that a question for Jack? Or that was...
No, his name is Jack Witt.
Oh, that's your name. Oh, a new rule for baseball.
Like from another sport.
Okay, let me think.
On hockey where you have the emergency goalies, and they're just like random people, like real not professional hockey players, and every night the emergency goalie goes and watches the game just in case one of the team's goalies gets hurt.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. I know what he's talking about. There's like one guy who can play for either team, right?
Yeah. And it happens like once every, I don't even know, 5-10 years.
Yes, we need
played hockey for like 9 years.
They don't even like get paid for this. They get a free jersey and that's it. We need that, but for baseball, I don't know if it should be like an emergency pitcher, emergency catcher, emergency pinch hitter. But imagine game on the line, 8th inning, one of the players gets injured, bench is empty, bullpen's empty, and they just call
Mitchell Barbie from the Philippines stepping up to the plate.
5'8" Mitchell Barbie comes up, those like 60-mile-an-hour lob balls, and I allow 5 runs, but I get to say I was a major leaguer.
Damn.
Crazy, dude.
I would say probably a new rule. You don't get to keep home run or foul balls anymore.
So you want it like it's Japan?
Yeah. That's not good. That's not good form. It's stealing.
I think you should be able to pin people like in wrestling. Oaktoon, what's your favorite ballpark of all time?
My favorite ballpark of all time, I would say PNC Park, man, was a great experience. Yeah, probably that.
Okay, and After Effects says, what's your favorite baseball movie? And we'll call that the last one.
I don't have a favorite baseball movie.
Yeah, you do.
I know, but I have to say one. My favorite baseball movie. What's yours? Moneyball. Is my one of my like that's the one
I think I actually have to say The Rookie because Moneyball is a really good movie.
I like The Rookie.
I don't know how much of a baseball movie it really is. It's more about like it's like logistics stuff. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I was saying the opposite. Someone was just telling me they're reading Moneyball. I was like, that book to me, I'm like, this is really just about baseball. I don't know. Like, people are like, you got to read this to be good at like business.
Wait, people read Moneyball?
Yeah, they like
for like not baseball.
Yeah,
purposes?
it's like a book for fucking like corporate people to be like, you gotta read Moneyball. Like you gotta rethink the budget differently because now you can do what the Athletics did to their payroll. Like, you gotta get the undervalue assets and like, I'm saying like apply the Moneyball thinking.
Kind of an inspirational type
your daily
approach.
thing.
It's like reinventing the wheel a little bit, going against the grain.
That's the whole point of Moneyball. You guys not knowing this?
No, that's what I'm saying. I get why people would read it for like business.
But like for me personally, I was like more like, I feel like it's more about baseball. But you know what? At the end of the day, my favorite baseball movie, it's got to be Moneyball because that's the one I've seen most recently and remember. Like, the thing about me, bro, I've seen like 10 movies. I'm like bad at this shit.
Yeah.
The Rookie, I feel like I've seen all the baseball movies, but it's been a while, bro. I was a kid. Benchwarmers was funny. The Sandlot was a good movie, bro. And the dog eats the Babe Ruth ball. The Natural. I get that one. The Field of Dreams a little confused sometimes. And then you got The League of Their Own. I've seen that. It's Mitchell's favorite.
I've actually never seen like some of the iconic. I've never seen The League of Their Own. I've never seen Field of Dreams. And then there was one. I've never seen Bull Durham.
Bro watches the baseball league. You never saw League of Their Own.
League of Their Own is funny. It's a good watch. It's kind of a classic, actually good movie, as opposed to the other ones, which are kind of like they're just baseball movies. Some of them, yeah.
Like I feel like I've watched all of the bad baseball movies, but I've never watched like people who don't like baseball, they've watched that movie. I'm like I've never seen.
4 Days in October, great movie.
All right, that's it for questions today. If you want to leave a question, Podcast Doesn't Exist server on Discord.
Ask some better questions. Like if your girlfriend's pregnant, should we keep it? Should I marry her? Should I, you know what I'm saying? Should I join the military? Like, these are the questions I'll give you good answers.
You just want to be a daytime talk host from the 1990s, right?
No, I want to be the daytime talk host of the 2026.
I think people will develop a rhythm. They'll start to understand what kind of questions we like to answer. They'll know that the question shouldn't be a paragraph long, or I'm not going to waste my time reading it. Stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, like ask life advice. We can have a Ask Joey segment. We could see what his
or an Ask Jack segment, depending on what kind of advice you're looking for.
You don't know Jack should be the name of that segment.
But then that would just be asking Jack questions about Jack, right?
You don't know.
Because we don't know Jack and we're trying to find out more.
Nobody really knows Jack. That's the thing. That's my lore.
Samurai Jack. People don't know that the whole book was about him. Oh, it was a show. All right, that's my time. Thank you all for coming. And we'll see you next time. Peace.